Yeah. Nothing happened. Everything's fine. I was going to get up for no reason.
Everything's under control. Hello, everyone. I'm Ivan. I'm your substitute teacher. And Richard's just fiddling with a few little bits and bobs. But we are here to watch
Samurai Cop.
Are you sure not Dead Heat?
I'm certain not Dead Heat.
Okay, fair enough.
Shut up, John Doe. you don't know. This was something I forget every time. Streaming is inordinately stressful. So, let me just get the YouTube chat up. The restream chat I had on isn't refreshing very well, so I'm afraid, Twitchers, your chats, I'll be able to see them in a little window here, but not on. You won't be able to see them on the YouTube video. We can see them, so that's nice.
You can see them.
So we're here to see. Well, I didn't forget to put the lights on, Ivan. I didn't forget anything. I get everything right every week, and everything's fine. Amir Shervan's classic Samurai Cop, which is on Amazon Prime Video. I don't know if I can paste a link to that, but let's see if I can.
Also, Amazon Prime US, according to the chat as well.
Oh, good. So
if you're in the US of A,
as you're probably all aware, that the quality of Scran available on Amazon is really, really high, which is why which is why Samurai Cop must be there.
All kinds. UK Prime has. We were watching a kind of a saucy plumber and some aliens come or something. Yeah, aliens and a saucy plumber from like the 80s.
No, man, that's from like the 90s.
Oh,
I think it might be even more. I think it might be the 2000s. It's sort of like a Confessions of a Window Cleaner type thing, but made on videotape in the 2000s, which is just
it was
really
bad.
Yeah.
We didn't get very far.
Also, there's a documentary on Amazon Prime, which I think is still there, called Din Sauer's Mystery of Bone, which is a misspelling of dinosaurs. Din Sauer's Mystery of Bone. And that would be one thing if it was just the artwork, or if it was just the video title, but it's both.
Mm.
And it
And
reminds
the credits as well, isn't it?
So it very much reminds me of that Mitchell, David Mitchell's bit about the sign writer in Spelling Accommodation. It's like, are you sure you don't want the premium service? Ian's done another lovely overlay for us. Again, thank you, Ian. We got some Dutch gold. We got some food. We've got a hand from the dead don't die. Ivan thinks it's a hand from the dead don't die.
Yeah, I reckon it's from the Dead Don't Die. It's not a Dark Order claw, but I think it's Dead Don't Die hand.
I can't get my hand that small. My thumb on the wrong side. My thumb's on the wrong side.
It is.
Wow.
I've always said that about you.
Everybody knows. That doesn't make sense. I can't. There we go.
Oh no, I've done it wrong.
Look, aren't you glad you've tuned in for another thrilling week of Valverde broadcasting? Some people said that when Duncan went away, the quality dropped, but they were all wrong. Particularly, there was never any meal. Duncan didn't have a meal.
Never had a meal. Never had tulips.
Never had tulips. Never had really far too much Kelsey Grammer talk.
I'm starting to think. Okay, Dutch gold, tulips, fries, maybe with mayonnaise. Is this a kind of Dutch meal?
I think it might, Ian. Yeah, so I got this quite late because I didn't have. I'm being really busy this week. I've got a big job on, and we didn't do the poll until yesterday, so it finished at 3 o'clock today. So poor Ian had to do this in a hurry. He said he was good. He said to me in the DMs that he was going to do a sex dungeon theme, and he's like, he thought it might be a bit much. And I was kind of like, maybe not. I don't know. It depends. Depends how graphic.
Movie appropriate. If it was one of our favourite sex dungeons from Hollywood,
Yeah, exactly.
Fictional Hollywood,
Fictional,
not real
not
Hollywood,
Yeah.
and all its sex dungeons.
None exist. None exist. Billy Mounts asked if I've ever seen Samurai Cop 2. No, Samurai Cop 2 doesn't get a lot of truck with me because it's on Amazon Prime, but deliberately making a sequel to something ironically. I'm not into it. I don't feel that so much because they put like Tommy Wiseau in it and stuff.
Yeah, maybe it's great, but hard to imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard anyone sort of going like, "Oh yeah, it's like Birdemic 2," but they got poor old Nguyen back and got him to do that. And it just feels a bit kind of exploitative. I mean, I prefer my exploitation to be unironic, but that's just me. Yes, Callum Chung points out it's one of those forced movies. I think exactly. It's like any of the Asylum.
Yep.
Movies.
Nick Jones just said, "Yeah, it's a Sharknado."
There you go. Yeah. So when
Sharknado should be so good.
Yeah, I know, right? But then it's just all that kind of stunt casting of old pop stars and stuff. I think I said before I've got the Asylum Sherlock Holmes movie.
Yeah, we've watched it.
We've watched it. It's got Malcolm from Star Trek Enterprise, and it's got what's his name from Torchwood in it, the Welsh guy. Ianto? And that's weird. It's got a making of doc. Did we watch the making of doc?
Maybe some of it.
Because it's very much, it's very, very on the nose. This is how the sausage is made. Because the whole time you get the feeling of like, yep, fine.
On to the next thing.
I actually offshot it in Wales. Sean Northridge gives Sean Northridge five euros. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
I need to draw a pin-up commission. I need your expert advice. Who's a good-looking girl I shoot for reference? We're gonna say Kelly Brook, aren't we?
Oh yeah,
That's
Kelly Brook.
Me and Ivan being old. That's our top draw.
Any Kelly Brook era, you could do it now. Kelly Brook
Big
10 years ago. Big Breakfast, Kelly Brook.
Evergreen, Kelly Brook.
Evergreen.
She's our Valverde princess.
Yeah, she's the Billy Zane of our hearts.
Well, she used to go out with Jason Statham and
True.
Billy Zane, which tells me I've got a chance. Particularly as her looks start to fade, I think I'll get in there.
I think a bald rugby player as well. Forget which one.
There you go. Alex Ewing likes Kelly Brook because he's right. Movies that are bad on purpose aren't fun. I'm reading out his comics. He likes Kelly Brook. Movies that are bad on purpose aren't fun. Why would I want to watch someone purposely strike out? I want to see someone swing and miss so badly that the bad goes flying into the stands. I mean, that's the point, right? And I said this because we've just done all bad movies really for this, haven't we? I said this, but in like the first week.
Dead Heat, I think.
Oh, sorry, yeah, no, absolutely not Dead. No, absolutely not Dead Heat. That was in among some.
Yeah.
Because even Stone Cold is not a bad movie. Stone Cold's like a legit good movie. We've had a lot of bad movies on the cards, is perhaps what I want to say. I think first when we did Neil Breen, it was like part of it. There is a sort of slightly nasty thing to laughing at bad movies because you're laughing at someone. But it depends who that person is. If they're some kind of deranged egotist. Also, it's entirely possible that Neil Breen saw at least that we did a watch party, and I forgot to address this last week. So there was the copy of, I'm pretty certain, the copy of, was it Double Down? No, it was, Double Down.
Yeah.
The copy of Double Down that we suggested for you to watch was on YouTube for like 8 years or so. It'd been uploaded for a long time. And then like the day after the watch party, it vanished from YouTube under copyright claim by Neil Breen. So I'm told. So who's to say? Perhaps we had some sort of involvement in and then I'm sort of going like, there's no way he would have watched all of it. I think someone like that just sees it exists and he can't do anything about us, but we've pointed him to his own bad film. But then I remember sort of like calling him a deranged egotist and stuff. So,
Well, I just have to note, Sean Northridge has Googled Kelly Brook and seems on board. But who was it? Oh, I can't find who.
So is someone going against Kelly Brook?
Floyd Dillon suggests Floella Benjamin.
Oh, nice.
And good work. Good work.
Yes, that's left of field, but I'm into it. Dan Lars is talking about Bonnie Tyler. Yeah, so I'll do the everyone in the chat thing.
Yeah,
Let me just do that. Do it. I've got my pop. Oh no, I popped the chat out by accident. No, restore chat.
Take a big breath.
Yeah, big breath. Right, so where are participants?
Uncross your legs.
Alex Ewing, Billy Mount 3, Callum Chung, Captain Meets Adventures, Carl Technocop, Dan Lars, Dijon Coleman Music, Fife Bealby, Floyd 75 Dylan, Ian McGar, John Doe, Leonard Leone Films, Mark Flanagan, Mark O'Mara, Mark Guyside, Mr. HEC 381991, the one that's always really hard every week, Nick Jones, Pete Interest, Phil Rob 1978, Professional Moore and Rob Myers, Rob Swayze 88, Sean Northridge, Simon Pope, TM2YC.
Oh, you missed one.
They keep coming. More keep coming. So they start.
You got
Z's
Z.
here. Hey Z Klinger-Smith's in the house. Aidan Lynn's in the house. You only show my box. Tee hee hee. If you comment Otto Sump.
Oh, nice to have you, sir.
The Otto Sump. Stay ugly, my friend. People don't know what Otto Sump is. Just going like, did you just call someone ugly? Mark Flanagan is here. So there you go. Ian McGard, did I catch Ian? I mean, Ian's evergreen because Ian is the creator of the overlays. I like he's gone for good. That is Wig Hannon, isn't it? I think that's Wig Hannon, or maybe because those of you who haven't seen this movie, like they went back for very late stage reshoots because the director of this was nuts, and Matt Hannon had cut his hair for a different film, and they gave him a lady's wig. And there are a number of sort of close-ups in the movie where he's very clearly wearing a lovely lady's wig.
I reckon that's naturally feathered hair. That's going to be my shout for that scene. I'm not a wig expert.
I've got a feeling when we see the wig, it's going to be like, hoo, okay.
Yeah. I can do fan four-stick wigs. I can do that.
Dread as well. Lena Headey does a couple of scenes in a wig, and it's not that bad, but it is like when she's in her den when Dredd shoots her in the guts. Yeah, she's wearing a wig. Yeah, the Fan Four-stick wig. Because the thing is, a Fan Four-stick wig, you're looking for it, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're just I mean, definitely we were just sat there sneering at it, going, look at the wig. Also, this week in the news, it's one of those stupid articles that's probably horseshit, but there was a rumour about pre-Disney Marvel cameos or non-Disney Marvel cameos in Multiverse of Madness. So now we're getting all the multiverse films, aren't we? And I want it only to be Fant Four Stick team. In fact, if most of the if it was like, when they do backdoor pilots for things and like the main characters in it, like Gary Seven or whatever in Star Trek, I want Multiverse of Madness. I want Doctor Strange to be it for 5 minutes, and they do another Fant Four Stick, or it's just the film Fant Four Stick played, and then at the end Doctor Strange comes in and goes, "Good job, Fant Four Stick," and the only new material is stand into the back of all their heads. That would be genius.
I think for them to miss the opportunity of having Michael Chiklis in a film, that's gotta have Chiklis.
Got to have Chiklis, yeah. He was so well cast in those movies.
Brilliant, yeah, perfect.
So well cast. I don't have a problem with the cast of those movies generally, actually.
And Chris Evans as Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. That'd be really cool.
I'll throw Jessica Alba in for Genie drawings for Sean Northridge.
There's loads coming up. Denise Richards.
Oof.
Very good shout.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, but we're all about Kelly Brook in this house. You just need you to know that.
We're a Brook house.
We're a Brook.
And if you don't like it, you can get out the door.
Yeah. My dad liked Kelly Brook, and his dad liked Kelly Brook, and his dad before him. And I went to war with a picture of Kelly Brook in my cigarette case, and it stopped a German sniper's bullet.
She's the best Highlander left.
I like that as well. Kelly Brook's immortal.
I'd like to see it. Yeah, seeing her behead people in a car park would be quite amusing.
There you go. You got it exclusively on Valverde. Kelly Brook beheading someone in a car park. And I just want to. I know this is a bit of a beaten horse on this channel, but Highlander of Kelly Brook would be better because Highlander is shit. not even wrapping that up in nice kind of rapping. There's no wit to that. It's just me repeating a thing that annoys people. Maybe that's all I've got. You know, that's my whole shtick these days. It's just Highlander is shit.
Gotta rile up the whatever it's called, the Twitter, the internet.
Let's get cancelled. I don't think I can get cancelled just by slagging off Highlander. I think there's too many people that just sort of agree with it. It's a very milquetoast opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think many people are going to go into bat. Well, people do go into bat for Highlander, but
it's one of those films. It's a bit like Goonies, where some people love the Goonies, other people don't, and it's just kind of accepted that it's like, well, meh.
Yeah.
And Highlander, I think, is like that. Whereas if you say Predator shit or Psycho shit, or obviously, or Star Wars shit, yeah.
We've had very few. So we did a video about Batman and the Snyder Cut this week. So Duncan was able to free himself from baby jail to come. Yeah. And
how did he get tried as an adult in baby jail?
No, but the thing is, because technically everyone's a baby, because you're a baby to begin with. So you can still be tried under baby law.
Yeah, because relative to Kelly Brook, everyone's a baby because she's thousands of years old. Yeah.
So she is the Grand Supreme Judge. Of
she's
Baby
Chief Arbiter.
Yeah, exactly. Chief Justice of baby jail. The only problem about going to baby jail is the really small orange jumpsuits. So the best you could do as an adult is fashion a loincloth from multiple ones. You essentially get given an orange baby grow, and for the start you just have to sort of cup everything. And if you're a woman, it's even worse because you have to sort of go like this everywhere. They just don't make that concession. They don't believe in one size fits all. They did try to introduce one size fits all, but it has to stretch all the way from the baby to the tallest, fattest person.
It's like pre-season 3 TNG.
Yes. Yeah. There's lots of this.
Lots of lumbar problems.
So Duncan's back in baby jail for baby crimes.
You were saying about the videos. So I derailed that a bit.
No, bored of that now. Don't want to talk about that. We didn't get any of those. We didn't get all the mad Snyder nut bags yet. So there are two kind of active groups I view online that kind of come out of the woodwork. Liam Taylor guitarist just followed on Twitch. Groups of nutters that come out of the woodwork when you discuss things. It's the Snyder nutters and the Star Wars nutters. And it's sort of like, if you say a bad thing about their thing, or even, I've said this before, even if you're kind of mildly tepid, if you have a tepid opinion about a thing they love, then woe and fucking betide you, my friend, for dreaming to...
You should try and kind of trailblaze to find one of the new super virulent fandoms.
Oh.
So start shit talking the OA.
Nice. Yeah, because I can't.
Altered Carbon.
There was a time when I could have got away with like Firefly and whatever, but that's not on anymore. And that's not internet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, who was it? Yeah, was it Mike Kingston saying last week about the OA being cancelled? I was just going on the OA, right?
Altered Carbon, I think, has been cancelled this week as well.
Shit, Altered Carbon shit, yeah?
Yeah, it's
and
rubbish.
I'm glad it got cancelled because it's for shit wankers. So's the OA, which I think might be pronounced OA.
Yeah.
Unclear, but that's shit too.
That's the reason it's shit. Unclear pronunciation for the show.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
What do they expect?
Because no one actually uses that phrase in the show.
No.
That would be great. Make a show with a really weirdly written title, but then don't feature it in the show. So no, and then refuse. Like when like we talk about this every week, like David Lynch just refusing to clarify anything. Just be like Lynch. Anyone else, just refuse to clarify. Just be like, nope, absolutely not.
You wouldn't even have final scene. Someone falls over and goes, "Oh wow," like that.
It's people sort of like hitting their toes and things. That'd be great. Right. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. Floyd Dillon hopes I don't read something, but it's all the way up there, so I'm not scrolling back. So maybe I'll see it tomorrow. Do that weird hand thing that Lynch does. Is this the weird hand? I've perceived he does this thing where he sort of cups his hand, but not like that, or like in a temple. He sort of holds his own hand gently by the end of his fingertips. You've seen that?
No,
So he sits like this. He sits like this. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, Steve. That's my interpretation of the weird David Lynch thing.
Dan Lyles is throwing shade on Babylon 5, saying it's a big pile of shit. Having never watched it, but remembering it being on, I agree with you.
Well, that's the that's the quote from Spaced, isn't it? When he wants to get sacked from the comic shop.
Oh,
Derek, Babylon 5 is a big pile of shit. Which is something that me and Toby seem to derive endless pleasure from. He's saying that all the time. And then because of that, because when I can't remember the other guy's name. Oh no, it's Derek and Bilbo, isn't it? He's like, Derek, Hawk the Slayer is rubbish. Get out. And because of that, I'm now watching Hawk the Slayer for a video I'm supposed to with Toby.
cool,
Except
cool.
we've been tied up with this thing, so I can't. But there you go. Marco Maron does not like this Babylon 5 slagging at all. Callum Chung says Stranger Things is not good. Fight me.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? I'm not mad for it. Like, it is cool. I enjoy it, but I'm not. I watch a season and then wait for the next one. I'm not gonna start writing fan fiction. But it is a good. That would definitely now Stranger Things, particularly because it plays into that kind of Spielbergy Goonies thing. I don't know. It was directed by Richard Donner, but because it plays into that, that's the kind of thing. Those are the kind of people that are also annoyed by you not liking. So I think that's a soft target. Stranger Things is well shit, yeah. I hate it, and only stupid people like it. I watched all 3 seasons, quite enjoyed it. But shit, yeah, I hate it. I think that'll get some clicks. Do you think the numbers will go up?
Yep. You just gotta.
Shite.
There you go. We're great at pointing.
Yeah, it's harder than you think.
It is. It really
Because
is.
you're kind of mirrored. So I've got to adjust my. I've got to reverse.
You've got to pull it with your other arm.
Yeah. It's just like when I broke my leg and I had to manipulate it with mine. It was hard work.
Thank you very much. Can you feel the sunshine? Sadly, not.
For the sunshine. Yeah, summer's off, mate.
Yep. Summer's
Summer's
over.
off. So there you go. Stargate could go after Stargate. That's quite good.
Convo Hat podcast saying Babylon 1 to 4 were better.
Hey!
Fair point.
Very confident in saying that Convo Hat podcast is our most proximate viewer. Unless any of you are sort of going for our bins, like
Yes.
Liam is easily the most proximate viewer. Very difficult to go through bins in this climate. I haven't tried.
The MCU isn't cinema. Hot take from Alex Ewing.
That's all of Alex's Facebook, or it was. He's retired that at the moment. I like Alex's Facebook's fun. He puts amusing memes, some of which I pinged off to you actually when I was in it. Captain Meets Adventure says Stranger Things is Kelly Brook's favourite show on Netflix. I love Stranger Things. Best thing ever. I've got a Funko Pop of Derek.
Oh, I've got the Demigorgon.
You got the Demigorgon.
The Demigorgon.
Yeah, I've got a Demigorgon. I've got
Commissioner Demigorgon.
Commissioner Demi Gordon.
Yep.
That's Demi Moore playing Commissioner Gordon in a gender-swapped Batman.
Yeah. And also a Stranger Thing Demigorgon. All of them.
This the body of a Demi Gordon.
With the face
of a Demi Gordon.
Yeah.
Which is
with the voice of Demi Moore and the clothes of Commissioner Gordon.
And the gait of Gary Oldman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about Gary Oldman, Benny Legend said I look like Brian Cox. So now I'm doing a nice line in.
So you're between
kind of imposing older British actors.
Yeah, I like that. I sort of like if you're in a sort of biopic. You do look a little bit like the Canadian ambassador from the South Park film.
Shut up, buddy! Can I finish? Please, can I finish?
I can't finish.
Need to get rid of the top bit, and then I could be proper Canadian ambassador.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because my dad went for a Canadian ambassador phase think for most of the 80s, my dad, not the Canadian number, who didn't exist
Good
yet.
chap. Yeah.
So it was very,
And
very,
arguably never existed.
You don't know. Maybe that was based. I remember they did like quite late in the game. Well, not that I suppose it's just showing my age, but they did Gordon Brown once on South Park,
Oh,
and he just had a
wow.
generic English accent.
Mm.
So they just googled British Prime Minister because they didn't know who he was. And just,
Hello, I'm Gordon Brown.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Jesus.
pretty much. Pretty much.
I remember Simpsons had Tony Blair and just didn't sound like Tony Blair.
Even though it was actually
Yeah.
Tony Blair. Yeah. Well, that's one of those weird things where you get someone like that and they pull him into a booth or into an office for 5 seconds. Because doesn't he go like, "Hello, I'm Tony Blair, welcome to Britain," and then he goes off.
Yeah, he's like, I'm the British Prime Minister, Tony Blair.
The Canadian government has apologised for Brian Adams on numerous occasions. That's Alex Ewing there. The March to War, sponsored by Smacky Smarts. Floyd Dillon just pointed out, he just said, don't you and Duncan call Funko Pops dust collectors? I don't remember specifically saying that, but I 100% support
Yeah.
that assessment of Funko Pops. Yeah, I don't actually call them that, but in spirit I do, because they are.
Yeah, they are. That's the problem with having, not talking about Funko Pops here, but having cool objects with that aren't just sheer sides.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
if you could get collectible cubes, that'd be great.
Stackable.
Yeah.
They tessellate perfectly.
It'd be really easy to dust. It'd be fine. But sadly, you get stuff like Ed 209s or
Fucking give it a couple. You say, yeah, it's that's what I've got in the cabinet, right?
and it's you know, same like I've my wee little tribble thing, and it's like it's just artificial fur to collect dust for years and
that
years.
Ed 209 one, fucking hell, the crevices on that. 'Cause you got to put it in like a glass case. I'm buying a glass case. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not that level of
Yeah.
wealth. Yeah, I completely derailed what I was going to say. Fuck. Oh yeah, no, I was going to say give it a couple of years and you could just sell hollow plastic cubes and just write Harley Quinn on it in pen, and then it's like people will buy them. And it's like, yeah, now the bottom bit's see-through, so you can look up inside the cube. And if you stack one cube looking down, you look up through the other cube that's facing front, so you can see where it says Mr. Bean.
And conversely, it might be that in like 50 years' time, when people are selling Funko Pops, they really want the patina. And it's like, oh, well, you've regularly dusted this. We really want the kind of the grime to show the patina of a really kind of aged, well-loved Harley Quinn Funko Pop.
You know, when you see those, sort of, when you see toys that a kid has had for years. When I was a kid, it was like my cousin's Barbies and stuff. I think it's like our Action Mans, and they've just got like that grub on them, that kind of nondescript. Because it's definitely got like, some of it started life as the sauce from sausage, chips, and beans. To just like all this grim.
It's like kids console controllers, and once they're being played for a while, they've warmed up, and then there's the kind of grease that can be rubbed off it. It's like, kids. That's all the Ribena and cheese and onion crisps.
Oh god, I just want to throw him in a paddling pool full of bleach. Just like, don't come near me, you stanky little fuck.
Okay, so the kids rather than the controllers.
Oh, the kids, yeah, no, not the controllers. It's like, I don't want the controller to get that on it. I want it to be used by a presumably now dead bleach-covered child. The only person I authorise to anywhere near my control pads. Absolutely not. You're out of your fucking mind.
Benny Legend, I wish I could tell you about those little football, essentially they were Funko Pops before Funko Pops, yeah. Got no idea what they were called, but everyone had them 25 years ago. Everyone. I think I had a McManaman. Yeah.
Who was the guy, who was the footballer that had like the bleach blonde frizzy hair? Was he mixed race or like...
Bleach blonde
in
frizzy
the 90s,
hair?
he had like bleach blonde frizzy hair and he played for like an English team, but I don't know what country he's from.
Don't know, could be Wes Brown. Wes Brown had bleached hair for a bit.
I once found his big head boy in an abandoned ambulance in Cherry.
You found this big-headed boy in an abandoned ambulance.
Yeah, and I'm not correcting that.
It sounds like a horrifying movie.
Or some kind of like reader's wives letters page. Stephen Hines, big fan of VVB since the OH days. I highly recommend Fire, Ice and Dynamite, a 1990 film starring Roger Moore on a soundtrack featuring Deep Purple.
Wow.
Woo!
Thank you very much for the $5.
Yeah, thank you very much for the $5, Stephen, and also the recommendation, which is
Fire, Ice and Dynamite.
worth its weight in gold.
I'm hoping Roger Moore's called, like, Derek Fire, and there's a woman called Yasmin Ice, and then they have to blow something up.
Well, I like the idea that her name is Ice and Dynamite. Look.
No, Ice and Dynamite.
But not Ice and, like ISEN, Dynamite. Fire, Ice and Dynamite.
Icen, yeah, that's German for ice, is it? No, it isn't. No. Ignore me.
Oh, we got Vote Sacks in the room who get shout outs because I did. Stephen, you've changed your fucking avatar, mate. I was scanning for the chat looking for that familiar black and white one, but there it is. I was on Steve's chat. Yeah, I was on Steve's stream on Friday, and so was Ivan briefly. When I called him upstairs to discuss Rabbit Wars. I was a lot drunker than I thought. I felt dreadful the next day. But I was drinking. Corona, not Corona. Oh, that's like that thing that's happened. No, Desperados. I was smashing Desperados, and I think there was some kind of opening spirit tequila, maybe to start the evening. I can't remember. But I felt dreadful the next day. Yeah, it was good fun.
Built up.
Good fun. People talk about Stan Collymore and his love for dogging.
It could be Stan Collymore. He might have had bleached hair. Rudd Huller, I don't think Mike Garside. By the way, Garside's a great surname. I'm a big fan of Garside as a surname.
Hold on a minute. Big shout out. I am Sonic says big shout out to Ellie who sent me a free sticker after I mentioned I was going to buy one with my mobility scooter. Oh, Ellie. Ellie's in trouble for being so nice all the time.
Yeah, she's getting sacked.
Yeah, she's getting sacked for being so nice.
For giving stickers to people.
Stop being so nice.
Giving stickers to fans.
Oh, who was? There was a thing, man. Like
Soccer Stars. Good work, Dijon.
Oh, that's what those wee guys were called.
Yep.
Big head boys.
Big head boys.
Someone got sacked from like a cinema chain or a fast food place for giving away like a free toy to a child. Do you remember that?
No, jeez.
It was very much that kind of bullshit, and it's sort of like, well, that's company stock.
In fact, dust collectors, bloody Happy Meal toys. You know, they were great. Have a Pokemon Mewtwo figure, then just collect dust. Never run out of battery on the plus side. But
Sean Northridge says Samurai Cop isn't available on Prime outside a Rift Tracks version. I'm pretty sure the one we've got isn't a Rift Track. We've seen the Rift Tracks version as well. Just going to check before we start.
Yeah, there were two Rift Tracks, weren't there?
Yeah, there's two Rift Tracks. Yeah,
just normal one.
Yeah, the normal one's there.
On Prime as well.
Prime UK. So, yeah, Prime UK is on there. Oh, in Ireland.
Oh.
Sure. Watch along with the Rift Tracks one because it should have the whole movie in it, shouldn't it? Rift Tracks is normally essentially commentary to the whole film.
Yeah. I've never watched a Rift Tracks.
Okay, cheers for the heads up, Sean. So if you're on Ireland, you're screwed.
Yeah, apologies.
Right, it's past, so I'm going to kick this shit off.
Go for it.
Typically irritating way. I hope just to make Duncan's ears burn. Not that they will be, because he's asleep. Poor bastard. So, we've got subtitles in our version. And I found out down Amazon Prime you can put different like fonts on and stuff. That's fun, isn't it? But in a kind of accessibility way, you can't do Comic Sans. So we're going to start in 12 seconds, I think. It's an even number. That's fine. I've just worn out all the odds.
I would have gone for a 13. But also,
I've done 13 so many times.
Analyse Moskland saying, sitting here looking at my massive collection of Japanese figurine dust collectors.
Hey!
Apologies, dude.
Yeah, sorry about
it doesn't mean they're not cool. It just means you have to dust them a lot.
Exactly, that's the thing. If I had a house, like instead of renting one, if I had like a mortgage, I'd have a fucking massive room for my comics. I'd have fucking dust collectors, but I can't. I've just got fucking trainers and cameras. That's what runs my life. Right. So anyway, 9. Did I say 9? Let's do it. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Samurai Cop.
Kind of went a bit Southern Belle there near the end.
I've got all that. I'm high on those grammar fumes from last week. Those of you who missed the Kelsey Grammer Real Talk, which happened last week. YouTube doesn't seem to have arbitrarily stopped our stream yet, so that's nice.
Nice.
It was a huge update from last year. Did you know the rumor about this film was that because the director died in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
So this had distribution in Europe originally. So it had like a video distribution in Europe, in the 90s from a Polish company, I think. And the rumour was like the 35mm of this was discovered in a castle, which is only partially true. Like, the director had stored away his 35mm for safekeeping, and after he died, it was found
in Roy Castle.
In Roy Castle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. Inside the desiccated corpse of Roy Castle,
by Indiana Jones.
By Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Found by the late record breakers presenter, late record breakers and trumpeter Roy Castle. They found it inside him. So there you go. Yeah, it was found, and they, and then I think because Amir Shervan, like because he did Killing American Style, which is a famous one, and I think that's something that was, Red Letter Media have done that as well, and they had Matt Hannon on. So yeah, it was something where they'd actually found a print somewhere, but it wasn't in a castle, which gives it this lovely. Because this film really got internet famous because of there's Bryce Dallas Howard. This film got internet famous because of the scene. People were sharing around the scene of the guy in the nurse costume. It's not the guy in the. It's the Robert Zadar and the lady in the nurse costume hidden in the box in the trolley. I think that was on like TV Carnage or something, and it just ended up round on the internet, and that kind of gave this film a bit of internet fame. In
the good old days, and there are a handful of VHS curators who controlled the means of production.
The Marxist VHS racket.
Look at that guy behind him. That's quite a face.
Oh, there's some power mullets in this as well.
Yeah.
So your man there is Gerald Okamura, the bald guy. And he's in Return to Savage Beach. I think he's in a couple of. He's in like Big Trouble in Little China. He's one of those. He's Asian guy for hire in sort of B movies and stuff. One of a few. So it's kind of Robert Zadar, because him and Robert Zadar are legit kind of names as far as these things go. Because Robert Zadar's in Tango and Cash, isn't he? Like briefly. But obviously he's in Maniac Cop as well. Cops, Maniac, Robo, Samurai.
That's the thing. Zadar's one of these people I could never name a film he's in, but he just appears in films. You're just like, oh!
Because I was on the Maniac Cop train when I was a kid.
I've never seen Maniac Cop.
I've got a Blu-ray of it. Because the first one, people forget, the first one is like Bruce Campbell. And then he didn't really want to do anymore, so he dies in like the first 5 minutes of the second one. Robert Zadar's face, man, that crazy chin.
Thank God he's got a beard, that because beardless Zadar is too much for me.
Too much chin.
That's too much man chin for me to deal with.
He should have been Judge Dredd.
He would have.
I think he was still alive when they made the 2012 one. He should have been Judge Dredd.
That would be.
Like 60-year-old Robert Zadar.
To be fair, when it comes to showing me someone, making me believe someone could destroy another man's throat, Robert Zadar is high on that list.
Yeah, Robert Zadar punching a throat in is completely believable. So a lot of the fight scenes in this, look at the wig straight in. I didn't realise the first shot was a wig. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good.
It gives a brilliant air of like a video you make in your friend's house, free house.
Like all those kind of still background characters in Yellow Submarine. There's all like those ladies holding apples with like long flat. He looks sort of like that. He looks sort of like. I'll tell you what he looks like. He looks like one of those drawings you get on the side of a fairground ride. Like if someone was trying to do Fabio.
Very good shout.
That's what he looked like.
I love them. There's the one that we get in Cambridge a lot. I'm not sure what kind of fair ride you call it, but it's been the Ben Affleck Daredevil film.
It used to be called Dance City, but it's been the Ben Affleck Daredevil film since the Ben Affleck Daredevil film.
It's brilliant.
It's amazing.
They're setting up again at the moment. I'm not sure if that's there.
They've done the kiddie fair as well in town. There was one on the Cambridge called it was called Terminator Forever. And I think it might still be called Terminator, but they got rid of most Terminator stuff, and that was after Terminator 2. It became this huge Terminator 2 thing. And when I was a kid, I was just like, I have to go on that every time I'm at the fair because it's got Terminator drawn on it.
I love Terminator.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to sit down and look away from that picture and pay money for that.
My rationale was that the cars look slightly like Hunter Killers that I somehow managed to rationalise. Also, the fucking Ghost Train had xenomorphs all over it.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, back in the day, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's the thing with kids. It doesn't have to make sense. It's the magic of kids. If you can give them a nice hook of something they love, it's like, well, I want my parents to spend money on that.
They could be easily exploited.
Yeah, really easy. Zadar is the best Zadar.
Did Zadar do any Sedaris movies?
Zadaris.
Sedaris. Did he ever
Not sure.
fuse
It feels
station style into a single being with Andy Sedaris? Sedaris.
It feels like he might have been briefly in one.
It feels like he should be.
No, definitely.
You know, because all those kind of people, all those kind of B-movie regulars seem to turn up one way or another. I don't mean like alive or dead. In Sedaris, back to the normal hair. It's the hat on top of it as well that just really fucking screws the pooch, isn't it?
Hat on a hat.
A hat on a hat, yeah. So Amir Shervan was known for, and I really like this actually. He used to film all the reason everything's set at daytime is he didn't want to pay for lighting, which is that's why filmmaking is in Hollywood because of the long clear days.
Yeah,
that's like a legit fact. But
it's not all natural lighting. It's not a Dogma film, really.
Yeah, it's
wow.
like there's a few reflectors and stuff, but it's. Because think where they're filming and stuff as well, it's just pure sunlight. But he was notorious for it, yeah. So
pre-Dogma,
he just doesn't get the credit.
God, wow, that's amazing.
But yeah,
and all of this they really did as well. They really shot that guy.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. Much like Lars von Trier was about unsimulated penetration, this has unsimulated murder.
And we're just watching the subtitles, so I'm guessing when it says music. That's just someone saying music behind the camera.
Open parentheses! Music! Close parentheses! It's quite distracting on the full soundtrack version. If you watch it in 5.1, it really sounds like it's coming from behind you. It's astonishing. Yeah. Phil Robb says, Robert Zadar is amazing, but I was terrified of him as a young'un. He's a fucking weird-looking dude.
Scary.
That's always great, because in Maniac Cop, like, he plays... I think it's sort of a Jason Voorhees thing. I don't think he's meant to be... I think by like the third or fourth one, he's like basically a zombie, but I think he's just kind of undead. And he's done mostly in silhouette for most of that film. And it's him in like kind of that cop parade uniform.
Mm.
And he looks cool as shit. Like as a sort of silhouette and stuff, he's like intensely menacing, but he's like really scary looking because he's got that sort of American dad chin.
That's weird. Imagine...
Like Sedaris had of style... And like they're not the best made films in the world, but they're perfectly competent.
Yeah.
Whereas this less so, but it's still shot on film, man. Like, and it's got all these really kind of like great wobbly shots and stuff. They do the thing. The point of view. Well, not point of view, but they do the sort of shot through the close up through the helicopter window, right? Which is, of course, you don't film that in the air. That's bullshit. That's madness. But what you do is you have someone at least rocking it from outside. She's supposed to be in the air and it's just completely locked off and she's just like, hi, I'm in a helicopter.
Yeah, no, definitely. And no kind of strobing shadows from the rotors or anything like that. It's just
someone with a bit of card or whatever, just, but no.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Sedaris is that weird fine line where a movie can be bad... But there's a weird thin line on a film looking professional. And a film like this doesn't look particularly professional. But Sedaris films, I think, look professional. They might be cheap, they might be exploitation. But it's like, oh, this is a movie someone's made, rather than this is a bunch of mates who made a movie.
Shit blowing up and stuff. I mean, it's amazing. It is amazing how much production value just shooting on film gives you. Because just on benefit of being on this film, it's like, oh, I'm watching a movie, but then you start watching and listening, and it's like, okay, okay. Which is kind of that's more if you have that spectrum from Miami Connection to Sedaris, because Miami Connection is very in the Samurai Cop kind of mould of things, I think, which and particularly because of its locations and stuff. It has that kind of vibe. That has seen shot at night, and that seems to be done all with one big blue lamp, which sort of plays into its kind of nice 80s-ish sort of vibe, I guess. But
I think the wig was back in the last shot.
I believe I believe the van is the production van as well. So something he was famous for was saving money by using his actual production van.
It's a sweet van.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet van.
I'd want that sweet van.
I'd have a dragon on it though.
What?
I'm a samurai cat.
He is
Pretty
your
sure
classic
that's
samurai.
Same take as well.
The shooter, has he got a bit of... I think he had a bit of duct tape on his baseball cap logo.
Amazing.
Maybe that was my imagination,
I
but...
wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's something that we've only just...
Because you see that on MTV shows. You don't see that on...
It's something that's only just become... So now they've... Like, for Adobe... Let's do some videography talk. For Adobe now, like, you can have content-aware fill was a Photoshop feature for ages, but now you have it on After Effects, so you can do it for all video. And like all the demos, when content-aware fill came out, it was like, okay, look, so someone's wearing a Nike logo, you can remove the Nike logo. And I've used it to take my logo off of my work t-shirts when I use the pictures for something, yeah? Right, so now you can do that. We've only just got that. So, like, on TV, when someone's wearing a bit of duct tape, it's like, that's a reality show.
Yeah,
on a movie, you're just trying to sell us that character wears duct tape on their hat. That's it. Greg just loves duct tape, my dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Your character's thing is he loves duct tape.
He just loves duct tape.
He can't get enough.
Well, duct tape's a brand. You can call it duct or duck. Did you know why it's called duck? Because it makes a quacking noise when you... You won't shut up about duct tape.
No, that's weak. Weakage.
And yeah, this is like, oh man, because this is great. And again, did that guy get shot in the groin? He was clutching his nuts.
Nut clutch.
See, that's quite good. The thing is with it, because this has some quite decent stunts in it. Like that lad coming out of the van and rolling down. That's a dangerous stunt, but this is the kind of movie where people die because it's all done on the cheap.
Well, even bloody Michael Bay films, people die.
Yeah, and Paul W.S. Anderson films as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, there was a stuntman. I think a stuntman was quadriplegic now because of the last Resident Evil film.
Oh jeez.
Because the stunt wasn't handled properly, which is bloody horrible.
God. Yeah.
Anyway, levity.
Indeed.
Jokes and funnies. I don't know what the design is on their rad van. Oh, look at that.
I think it's a lightning cloud, but with kind of sunbeams coming up above. Well, we'll never find out now.
Never know now. Can't rewind.
It's over.
Look at that. I would not. You could see all the. They can't remember what they call it. They put gel on people before.
Yeah. I love classic.
I mean, look at that. That's a fucking full body burn, pretty much. Like.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the. I remember it being called. What was the phrase? Like refrigerated gel or refrigerant gel or something.
Oh wow! Look, they've got the. Oh wow! Please tell me it wasn't the actors that actually put him out. He's wearing a wig as well. Imagine if you're that guy doing that stunt and a man wearing that wig is the one responsible for putting you out. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you don't want two people going down.
The cliche is to say, like, I hope he's getting paid well, but he definitely isn't. He definitely isn't.
No, yeah, definitely not.
I'm doing a sex. See, the good thing about... oh, yeah, he's got his, like, little pants on, isn't he?
Yeah.
The great thing about doing this... You see it at breakfast, fucking hell. The good thing about not doing this kind of thing picture-in-picture is because when I did Sedaris, I can't remember which movie, Molokai Cops, I had to go through and take all the tits out, which meant I had to sit and... Because otherwise you get your fucking channel deactivated or whatever, so I had to sit and time code all the boobs and stuff. No. So I wasn't going to watch it because I didn't have time, so I had to scan through. And on the night, and I made it quite humorous, but on the night I was kind of like... If I've missed a bit of bush or something, this is how the... Imagine, like, going to Duncan, this is how the channel got closed down. It was...
It's the risk. Hey there, Sam.
Hey, Sam. Hi, guys. Would you consider doing an Asylum movie watch party? Some of their gems are on YouTube. Asylum, a bit of a mixed bag for me. Like, I would quite like to do their Robocop rip-off of Michael J. White. That would be... It's just called Android Cop or something.
I don't think I've ever seen Android Cop.
Yeah, it's got, like, I'm trying to think... Have you seen Robot and Frank?
No, I haven't.
Because they do, like... There's a really good kind of mime performer in a sort of Ibo costume in Robot and Frank. And if you imagine that done for a fraction of the budget... That's just been her tits for the longest time. It's like just a shot of her tits.
Like Watchmen.
Hallelujah. This is better than Watchmen. Hallelujah.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's the thing that pisses people off. Visionary genius Zack Snyder's Watchmen. You're not allowed to have a go at that. Fucking hell. It's fucking shit, mate. It's garbage.
No, thanks for the $5, Sam.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sam.
Yeah, I think Asylum's a possibility.
I think Android Cop is on there, Sam. We talked about the Sherlock Holmes earlier, but I think Android Cop is on there, and I haven't actually watched it, and it's Michael J. White as well, and it's like,
oh.
You could do better than that, Michael J. White. It came out at the time of the Robocop remake. So it's a classic asylum mockbuster.
Yeah.
I think the mockbusters are the more interesting when they do kind of like.
Okay, that guy.
What, the guy with the mullet?
Yeah, he looks a bit like Hedgehog. What's he called? Hedgehog from Bottom?
What? Well, and Mike from the Young Ones.
Yeah, Mike from the Young
Dave
Ones.
Hedgehog.
Yeah, Dave Hedgehog. Like,
I mean,
if Dave Hedgehog travelled to the future and lived there for like 30 years and then travelled back in time.
and came back as a Japanese man.
Is he Japanese?
What? That him?
No, not him.
Oh, I was
no,
just like,
God,
I was
no.
just like, are you okay? Is he right?
I like how you went with it. You're
No,
like,
I was politely. I was like, I think Ivan's ill.
no, there's another guy with a mullet.
Okay.
Not the
okay,
blonde mullet, not
okay,
that guy.
Okay, I'm waiting for Dave Hedgehog. I can't, he was the he played the Santara. The Santara.
That guy.
Oh, jeez, he looks like Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash meets Dave Hedgehog. He looks like he's had his face kind of smeared against some glass.
It's a real strong, isn't it? He's a strong
That's
featured
a strong
fella.
look. Someone, because he played the Santarans in New Who.
Who?
Dave Hedgehog.
Oh, did he?
Because he's little. He's quite a short guy. So
Oh, cool.
he was when they did that Spud Gun. Oh yeah, Spud Gun Hedgehog. Yeah.
Oh, Sultaran was really cool in New Who.
Yeah.
That
I
little
really liked
buddy
it.
one. Yeah.
It was yeah. So he was that, and then do you remember? Yeah, the buddy one. Not I can't remember who played him.
Oh, okay, it's
So
different
that wasn't
guy.
Dave Hedgehog.
Cool,
He
cool.
has a real name. So there's something in this that whenever they do kind of like close-up shots for dialogue, it's a really sort of like this is one of my go-tos for a bad movie, and it's like it's in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. Did it all the time. It's where you frame a shot straight down the barrel with too much headroom and just by the neck. So like you're seeing this and they've got loads of room, and what you end up with is a whole frame with this like little head peek, and they always do that as well. They down the camera, and I've got to say actually it's probably not intentional, it might be, but I can't remember the name of the partner guy, and I used him for the thumbnail. He's very Dean Lerner-ish, isn't he?
He's got a bit of a learner vibe. He's the person in this film that, yeah, it's just kind of fun.
He's the one everyone remembers.
Yeah, he's a character you want to hang around with.
Because there's the gif of him going, and it's in the headshot I've just described going, which is what I used for the thumbnail, which won't be on there yet because we're using bloody Restream.
Restream.
I reckon the mullet Tash gang boss is definitely not Asian. I reckon he's Latino. Well, yeah, who's to say? Horse to say.
One day we'll get the hard-hitting documentary that exposes all these truths.
Well,
You'll never be able to talk again.
It just occurred to me that I should go to Page Pal.
Page Pal.
Page Pal. So if you can entertain everyone with talk of Samurai Cop.
I will try my best. So, let me tell you a little story.
This is the insanely over-the-top flirting. The horny nurse is part of the package of things that I think was like TV Carnage or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, pardon me.
He's watching the Master in action. He's doing his wee little faces. At least he's doing it with his real hair, which makes it more believable.
That would be too much, wouldn't it? If
It
he was
would
wearing the hat in this one.
If he had the fake hair, you'd be like, whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah, no PayPal tips today. Don't blame you. After last week's shambles, don't blame me at all. But yeah, you can get the gif of that guy doing his thing.
She looks vaguely like I've not seen her in anything, but she looks like someone else. I can't
Yeah, I
kind
know
of
what you
put my
mean.
finger on it.
I know what you mean. Yeah, well, this is one of those. I've said this before, and it's a similar thing with Sedaris, but like, it's one of those films that has that very kind of porny quality. But no one has. Well, people do have sex, but like you're expecting like unsimulated penetration. Then it doesn't
Like a
happen.
Dogma film.
Like a Dogma film, yeah, exactly. Like this is the American The Idiots.
Oh, that film.
I'm sorry, but I think Lars von Trier is a pretentious ass. And
What?
yeah, I know.
What?
Big opinion.
How
That's one of
dare
those
you.
film studies things where you have to like von Trier, and it's like no, and he also seems like a bit of a cunt as well. And I'm supposed to be like, well, that was really clever, actually.
Shots fired.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sure he tunes in every week. He's got nothing better going on.
Yeah, no, Lars von Trier is definitely someone who has a big opinion of himself.
You know, he added the von as well.
Ah,
It's
okay.
Lars Trier, apparently. So here we go. This is I think it's Robert Zadar dressed as a doctor hid in the trolley, and like I'm pretty sure Robert Zadar. Look how light the trolley is, and then like 9 foot tall. I know he's not 9 foot tall, but 9 foot tall Robert Zadar.
If someone told me he's 9 foot tall,
Just roll
I'd
with it.
believe it.
This is great. This is better than Hard Boiled.
He's not going to have time for his lips to grow back.
Well, that's why they have to get to him. So if they don't get him, his lips will grow back and he'll spill the beans.
There's no time for lips.
Oh. It's also why is he in disguise? If he was hiding in the box, why do they both have to be there? Like, it's got so many questions.
Yeah, but they'd just say it was the doctor box.
It was the paging Dr. Bucks. I am Snorlax, says Metal Gear Solid 5. Dun, 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 dun. He's got a very finely ordained beard, though, hasn't he? It's very nicely done.
It's expertly done, I guess, because he's a... Can't remember it. Well, he's either a samurai or, he knows his way around a sword. So I'm guessing in the morning he swords up the beard.
Yes, that makes sense. And in the mythology of Samurai Cop, he sort of he's got that no blood pissing out of that, by the way. Like, it was wheezing through the bandages on his face, but not from the neck hole.
We don't leave any evidence, so we're taking the head.
Did you know that just a torso is inadmissible as evidence in this state?
There's no DNA in a torso. When you die, it all floats up into your head.
If you think someone's a torso and you ask them, they have to tell you. I love how completely insane this is.
That's how to get a slip disc.
Yes. Yes, Robert Zadar. Man of that height is bound to have back problems. Don't get into a trolley with a human head. Open parentheses. Slam! Close parentheses. I mean, this is really... Considering Bryce Dallas Howard was probably about 9 here.
Yeah.
Very good performance from her. This guy, I love this guy.
He's the most uncop-looking cop.
He's just this sleazy-looking fuck. Also, the blood looks like that strawberry sauce you get from an ice cream van. It's sort of squirted out all over. This needs some chase music or a bit of Benny Hill. Paging Dr. Bucks. Paging Dr. Bucks.
I think a bit of Sonic music.
See, Doug Wannacott, again... If he's hiding in the laundry, why bother dressing as a doctor? Exactly. In case he gets caught, and then that's better. Dan Lowell says you need scaffolding to trim that beard. Very true. My brother went to a Turkish barber to have his beard done. It was fucking mint. I'm just like, I don't want to go to a barber during COVID, and I'm really stingy, so I'm just doing it with scissors, and mine looks crap. But he looks amazing.
Turkish barbers, they're the Don Kings.
Yes,
and they do the burning,
yeah. Oh man,
the
it's
hair
I've always
burning.
wanted to have it done. I've always wanted to have, this is tangential, isn't it? I've always wanted to have the Turkish barber shave. It looks fucking amazing.
And they'll sort out a unibrow. Yeah.
Sam Montgomery again giving extra fiver to say Ivan's moustache makes him look like a young Peter Cullen.
Ooh, Peter
That's
Cullen
not
as
bad,
well now.
Bad shout, yeah. Peter Cullen is Guy Fawkes. Which I'd watch.
Peter Cullen is Guy Fawkes.
Transform it! No, wait. I love if he can just do the Optimus
That would be
Prime
great. He gets arrested and then he just transforms into a sweet rig and drives
Oh
off.
no, he would have to turn into like a horse and cart. Something era appropriate.
A big bloody firework.
So he snuck down there, right, and he turned into a Roman candle and blew up Parliament. That's the Transformers universe.
What were we watching recently that had a giant Catherine wheel? Maybe we weren't watching it.
We absolutely were.
Yeah, what was that?
Fuck yeah, what was
Oh, it was bloody Zombieland double click boys.
Fart, isn't it?
Yeah, that was it. I was fine with it, but the longer it went on, the less it seemed like anyone cared about what story they were telling.
Considering they seemingly wanted to get it made for years, which is that enthusiasm made me watch it, then I was kind of like, oh, okay.
I would think maybe it's a case that there just so many people kind of stuck their oar in that it just kind of fell apart as a story, and they're like, oh no, we'll do this, and we want a character that does that, and then it's like,
Well, you made a good point, because they do the zombie killer of the week, and it's the guy in Italy dropping the Leaning Tower of Pisa on some zombies, and it's the most American tourist version. It's just so kind of like fair.
yeah.
I love this guy. The stereotype police chief guy is so good, and he looks sort of like a beleaguered concierge more than anything else.
What are you telling me? There's no toast.
There's no seafood buffet. You out of your goddamn mind?
Just put the bread in the grill. I told you before.
These bags won't lift themselves. Get out of here! Look at that. I love how just sort of. Oh, he looks like he's so checked out.
If someone told me they filmed it while he was asleep and just opened his eyes.
Or if he'd died in production and they just carried on. So I think the shot from behind might be. I just can't stop looking at it. The shot from behind, I think, is real hair. No, I think the shot from, because it's weird what they did and didn't get in their kind of principal photography.
Oh, I reckon that's fake.
You think it's a wig?
Or front facing, anyway.
Oh, front facing is fake.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no, from behind. I mean, yeah, look, that's his real hair.
Yeah, that looks.
But
like
the
real
inserts are the fucking. So one of the things behind this,
I like the idea that they filmed this scene, and then months later they're like, "We need some reaction shots."
Yeah, this is the thing. Can you imagine doing your principal photography and you've missed like another thing is Amir Shervan. So I think Matt Hannon and I can't remember the guy who plays the partner. Like a lot of the main players came back to do ADR, right? Because they were missing a bunch of stuff. But a bunch of the kind of bit players, he didn't want to pay to bring him back, so he did it all himself.
Nice.
So there's loads of like really robotic takes and stuff. It's kind of genius. The thing, I think a lot of the information that's out in the ether now about this is because of Red Letter Media having Matt Hannon on. And Matt Hannon's not his real name. I can't remember his real name. I wouldn't want my real name on this either. Because
that bit.
Also, this has the line "You son of a bitches" as well, which is great. Matt Hannon, the internet decided that he was dead. And the rumour was that he was dead. And interestingly, his daughter was a film studies student when this was kicking off. And she made him go on YouTube, or she suggested to go on YouTube to do a video. And that was all part of this getting its kind of traction again. Because the guy who plays his partner was supposed to be dead as well, because they're both in the second one. But neither of them were. Amir Shervan. And Amir, so I've said this before about the kind of weird American dream connection with a lot of these bad movies, which I do think kind of makes sneering at them a bit problematic, but hey ho, we're here now. Amir Shervan was actually a filmmaker in Iran before the revolution, and then fled to America afterwards because he was making movies there, and he fled to America afterwards because he didn't want to make films for the state, essentially. So he's someone, he's got a really interesting backstory, and he kind of came from a filmmaking background and everything. Like it was, it's not as if. So it's yet again the same thing. Tommy Wiseau, like Thingy Nguyen, like Claudio Fragrasso. There's this.
Yeah, there's a whole gang of them.
It is a bit. Again, it's a little bit problematic that all these things you are essentially sneering at foreigners, which you really laugh at these. But we're here now. When you look at the white-haired guy.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah. It's like he's definitely a crew member who they've roped in.
Someone's fucking cousin, isn't it? That's Dave Hedgehog. I'm going to call him Dave Hedgehog from now. That mullet guy.
Dave Hedgehog. Why are you called Dave Hedgehog? Well, it's a long story.
Also, I'm dead. Yeah. See, a lot of these, it's got that kind of. Do you see that? Yeah. See, there was a kind of. Now you'd call it like a dropped frame. I don't know if they use that term when they can't film. But someone was in that frame for a split second. That was there on the edit. Because I always end up having to clean up when you cut stuff. Because you can tell that's natural light. Look, they're not, I don't think that's being reflected off of anything. Like all that light's being soaked up by that dark red bar. And that's so fucking blown out as well. I love that guy, the blonde bullet guy.
Yeah. It's a strong look.
He looks like that guy.
Then suddenly the lighting for his shot there is completely different.
That's probably a completely different location as well.
Mm.
I really love the idea of someone filming only in the daytime to save money.
That's brilliant. That's a brilliant idea. As long as you're not making a vampire movie.
Nick Jones, in the RLM interview, Matt Hannon has the most outrageous man spread in history. I think he is just like, he's sat there. I see him sort of sat there like that with this mad, fair play to him. I reckon he can do whatever he wants.
Don't want him on the tube, though.
Iran, the home of director of Samo Cop and the Iron Sheikh, with forever in their debt. Bradley Burton in. Hello, Bradley. All right, mate.
Are you there?
The waitress directing the camera too.
Manic Eyes. Good idea, Captain Meat's Adventure.
Yeah.
I'd watch a film called Manic Eyes.
Dead Robert Sadar in Manic Eyes. Hannon has kind of... Matt Hannon...
Piercing, like a hawk.
When he has the wig on, he sort of looks like a cheese string. He's this sort of like... I just view him as... Or his head looks like a cheese string. Sort of like Beaker from the Muppets, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's a kind of tube.
Well, that's the thing. He's got quite a kind of classic American strong-featured face. But then he has a chin that's deceptively weak. So, like, when you see him side view, it's like, oh. And that kind of into the Beaker thing, where it's like...
It's when he has the wig on and his face is framed by this ridiculous long hair.
Not for death merchants.
So another famous line is, what is it? Katana, it means Japanese sword. Because again, Servan, he wrote the script and he wouldn't take notes from like native English speaking actors on what was wrong or not. And I think it's in the RLM interview. Hannon says that he just like, firstly he would only like he was a single take guy, so he just did. And I think time is money on film when you're shooting actual film.
Good enough for Clint Eastwood.
Well, exactly. He would just sort of. Hannon reckoned he would just fuck takes up in the hope they wouldn't be used, or he'd want to do it again, and they just cut print and move on, and it's like in the final film. But then again, you get that kind of, I don't know, you get that second win, don't you? When you do this, because when you're doing it, it's the most embarrassing thing in the whole world. But when people, because suddenly you're doing like, I don't know, he must have got a bit of coin for the sequel, and you know he's running around. He must be doing Well, I hope he's doing Comic-Cons and signing glossies and making a bit of bank. So you know.
Well, I imagine the people he knew that he was working with in the world of acting, it looked like her earrings were carbine clips.
Oh, really? That's one way to save money.
Yeah, then maybe that's just my imagination.
Oh, camp waiter guy.
quite a coiffure on him as well.
He absolutely thinks this is his big break. Camp waiter guy.
But Hannon, like, yeah, the other actors he was working with at the time, I imagine, don't get recognised now. Whereas he does.
He looks bloody good as well. You watched that RLM thing, right?
Yeah,
he's still in kind of bang tidy shape, or at least he was at the time of this. I mean, because it's, you know, Len Kabaczynski, that's Len Kabaczynski's the guy, he does RLM reviewed his movies, he does the kind of the blonde, long-haired guy. Yeah, he does the kind of werewolf ones and stuff, and they're all mates now. So I follow his Twitter's quite fun. He's someone who it's kind of like, he's an odd one because he was a best worst movie type guy, but he really embraces it, and he's like super wholesome Twitter guy, just like, you know, well, I'm making movies and we're not just doing it for ourselves, we're having fun, and you know, you should make a movie too. And it's like, I can't argue with that. Like,
yeah, that's, you know, ground floor, these people have made movies, so, you know, unless you've made a movie, it's hard to grudge them. Yeah.
So anyway, let's take the piss out of this some. Floyd Dillon says Ivan, which actor has the best chin?
Whatever.
I mean, because like Kirk Douglas has a mad good chin. Or had a mad good chin.
I always found his chin weird.
Yeah, but he's got like, his looks like a drawing because it's even got that little curly bit.
Yeah, like I don't like the dimple. It's a weird dimple.
Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell's book was even called If Chins Could Kill.
Bruce Campbell has got a great chin.
Jimmy Hill, not an actor, but still.
I was always a fan of Cary Grant's chin.
Oh yeah, Cary Grant, good chin.
Strong chin. It's not a huge chin or a formidable chin, but it's a strong
Formidable.
Chin. Yes.
Formidable. There's wig inserts. Look, those punches as well. Yeah, so it seems there was no like proper choreography for the most part. Like they had one of the producers choreographed a lot of it, but quite often the actors were just given sort of 10 minutes before a take and just like, yeah, so you have to beat him up and arrest him. And they had to figure out, which is essentially sort of play fighting, isn't it?
Well, it's a brilliant world of, kind of professions that people don't get. And it's like, oh, well, we'll just get them to figure out how they're going to fight.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, that's what we did when I had a video camera and we were teenagers. We sometimes filmed like fight scenes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like a bunch of teenagers in a park. Like it's not, See, this is a really good Indiana Jones. This is a really good like transfer of the ego. So this film's never going to look amazing, but it's a really clean transfer. A lot nicer than some of the stuff we've watched recently, like the Dead Heat one. The print of that they've got on Prime looks like absolute dog shit. Oh, my phone should be on silent. I'm awfully sorry. Someone had to strop once because my phone wasn't on silent. It wasn't on a live stream. But it's kind of like, I stopped listening when that guy's phone went off, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, this is if he cuts the arm off, and it's like a cardboard tube. It's fucking great. I got to go check that was the PayPal.
Yeah, I've done one or two work-based quizzes through the internet as part of social fun times at work. Quizmaster always has their phone on vibrate, like next to their mic, so it's just constantly going. Drives me mad.
ETC McAvoy just gave 10 English pounds, or British pounds. Thank you very much, ETC McAvoy. Thanks for the fun watch parties, Richard, Duncan, and Ivan. Good times. Oh, sorry, I just doxed someone. You've signed it with your internet
You know name, who you are.
Yeah. If I don't say your internet name, we're fine. I nearly said I didn't mean to dox you. I'm very sorry. Thank you very much.
What was their sort code?
So, postcode. Hey, I've got a fun game, everybody. Can you just put your mother's maiden name and the name of your first pet in the chat?
Much appreciated.
Thank you very much. I have Sonic says, thanks for reminding me, Ivan. It's my turn for the quiz this week.
Hey.
I've written most of a risky quizness, and I'm going to get Vote Saxon on, and I'm going to get Duncan back, hopefully, and then Ivan, I kind of tentatively asked you about helping me with that, didn't I?
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I've written some nonsense. It's all about writing up. It's about making up lies, which just makes, which I really enjoy. Making up stupid lies.
Z's mentioned a Dario Argento series
on Shudder.
Don't know
about that, Z.
Nothing about it.
Yeah, interesting.
I kind of hope Asia Argento isn't in it. Yeah. Not because she isn't great, but
she's might have done some bad stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh jeez.
Yeah, A, because her dad likes to show her being raped, and B, she might be a nonce. So let's jury's out on that. As all these things, I don't know if anything's been proven, but there you go.
But regardless, Dario Argento series sounds interesting, definitely.
Oh, Z says it's Into Darkness. It's actually old.
Oh.
From 1973. A Dario Argento TV show from 1973. Well, I'm just as interested.
It's probably better than a Now series. But
I'm Snorlax says, answer all these questions in the time it takes them to change a nappy. That's quite a good idea. I mean, don't give me ideas. You're kind of willing these things into existence.
Yeah, no, definitely.
David Hawkins, late to the party, going to watch it on playback. Before you go to watch it on playback, David, hello. You're in the what? You're in the video now.
You're in the chat.
You're in the chat, and I said your name, Mr. Fujiyama. That's great. Is it that, or I think it's Matt Hannon who, and I think it's probably one of his deliberate ones, who just fudges like Mr. Fujiyama, and it's totally in.
Hawkins also says just saw Tenet.
Kind of intrigued, but I'm sort of still a bit sketchy about going to the cinema.
I hope you're not unstuck in time in some sort of Nolan type
He's
situation.
Sucking bullets out of a target to stop World War III or something.
Sucking bullets out of a what?
Have you not watched the trailer?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Even though I'm unlikely to see it in the next 2 years, I've decided to try and find as little out about it.
Well, now you know that you suck bullets out of things.
You should have called it Bullet Sucker.
From visionary director Christopher Nolan.
You know who'd be perfect for that?
For Bullet Sucker?
Zadar. With his big old cheeks.
Powerful jaw.
He sucked a whole magazine. He sucked a whole drum out.
A career best performance from dead Robert Zadar. From the late Robert Zadar.
What was the classic First World War machine gun?
Not a Browning. It's the one that's in like the Boer War and stuff.
Yeah, one of them.
the desiccated corpse of Robert Zadar.
He's a reverse Superman.
Well, we shot all of Robert Zadar's corpse scenes in IMAX to take advantage of the larger format.
To fit his cheeks. All shots of the only IMAX shots of Zadar close-ups.
Of course, Nolan's famous for playing with the concept of time, which is why his lead actor is played by a dead person. 5 out of 5, The Guardian.
He took. It was after he saw, what was it, Boyhood or whatever. He's like, hang on.
Wait a minute.
If I use my Nolan powers to go back in time, film with Robert Zadar.
I'm sick of slowing down time. I'm going to go back in time and cast dead Robert Zadar.
Okay, that's definitely a wig.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I think that's that line's real hair. That's such a brilliantly odd thing.
It's in some ways.
And see, that's looking straight at the camera.
Yeah, and it's a more meaningful look than most of the actors in this.
Matt
It's
Hannon
quite a majestic lion. Yeah.
He looks a bit like my mate Martin. Who went to our school.
Martin.
Martin.
I tried not to. Dox.
Yeah, you don't want to dox. We don't want to dox people. Martin from my year, Martin. My friend Martin. Yeah. And I think I'm complimenting Martin. There.
No, I see what you mean.
Martin. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got kind of.
But you see what I mean about the chin.
Yeah, I see.
It's not as kind of out there as you'd think it
Patrick
would be.
Warburton. He's got a mad chin.
He's
He's got like the actual sort of
chin.
jug head, isn't he? Like.
No, good chin.
So whose child do you think made that line head they had to include?
It's a brilliant line head.
Mr. HCC says this film is too highbrow for me. I am Snorlax. He made the dead actor suck the bullets out by inserting a vacuum cleaner up his arse. Robert Zadar is a sniper's dream, says Dan Wells. This huge man with his massive ham head. Just like...
His days in the trenches were over when he started putting rouge on his cheeks.
This ruddy cheeks. He exists out of time and space. Didn't Robert Zadar... Someone will know. Isn't Robert Zadar in a random TNG episode? Or am I... Isn't he
that
in a
rings...
random episode of TNG?
That rings a vague bell, yeah.
Someone knows.
Hmm.
Yeah, someone knows. Talk to us. I'm certain he's in it, like doing a kind of lurch. Because like in Tango and Cash, he's like lurch, right? He does what Jesse Ventura does in the prison and like Ricochet. Like it's just sort of plays a sort of end of level boss. Like, look at this! Look at the... Oh my god!
That took him
See,
hours.
I mean, look, the line is under the actor's chin, so it's framed on his chin. It just looks weird. See, look, this is very much the lighting in that disco. I think there might be one white lamp, but like...
There you go.
He knows how to use that bat.
He's got samurai baseball
Just having,
skills.
like a nice cuddle. That was quite nice. He kind of went over him.
Yeah.
And considering they had to make it up just before it happened. That cut as well. He's got his wig on.
Baseball to the chops.
So now this is the thing. Is this... Because if he's not wearing the wig here, it's like, what was your continuity? No, okay, he is. Or is he?
I reckon that's real hair. Hard to tell.
Intense scrutiny in the room. He just rubbed the bushes. Look, that dog's going mental in that garden. Did you see?
Not anymore. He disappeared.
That's the dog that lad threw into the sea in Santa with Muscles, or whichever.
Which one
Was it
was
Mr.
that?
No, not Mr. Nanny. No.
It might be Mr. Nanny. I forget, what was the other one?
Okay, Steve Allen says Zadar was not in Star Trek. Repeat, was not in Star Trek.
Okay.
So Mr. HEC, hasn't everyone been in a Star Trek episode though? That's the thing. When you watch through Star Trek TNG, it's just like, oh fuck, and then combined with DS9 and fucking Voyager.
Tons of peeps.
But then I was just jokingly saying to someone the other day that I'm happy to pay for Netflix because it's all of Star Trek, and then you think about what an insane number of episodes that is.
Yeah.
Like hundreds and hundreds of episodes.
No, definitely. I've been a good boy and avoided going out my way to watch Star Trek during lockdown. Because I could just watch all of DS9 again, but...
Well, that's what because we watched so much of DS9 together, And then when I was broken-legged and I set the projector up in my room, I used to just sit and because I had nowhere to go and nothing to do. I just sat and I basically rewatched TNG, more or less, and then I got into Voyager as well. And I thought, I'll go on to Enterprise, and I kind of went, oh no, I'm watching Enterprise. Kind of means well. But
the redhead girlfriend was in Star Trek.
You're never far away, are you?
Wow.
You're never far away.
Good work. Matt Hannon was a professional bodyguard. He was Sly's bodyguard.
Mick Fleetwood was in TNG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mick Fleetwood was in Running Man as well.
Of course.
And he's called Mick. I said this, I think, when Duncan did the Running Man commentary, because he's called Mick, and I think he's kind of made up to look older, and it's like, is he playing Mick Fleetwood? Like, is Mick Fleetwood part of the Resistance in the fiction of Running Man?
Well, also Dweezil Zappa, Frank Zappa's son.
Yes, yeah, he's one of the Che Guevara Resistance guys, isn't he?
Yeah, it's awesome. Remember as a kid watching that, being like, wow, Dweezil Zappa.
Oh, Bill Bossert. Hi, Bill. Bill, I almost produced a film with Robert Zadar. He was to play the Frankenstein monster. That's a very good fit.
Shout, yeah.
Bill, I need to send you a message because I need to do some shopping for you. Oh, it's not a drugs thing. I just realised how sketchy that sounded. But Bill and I know each other. We buy drugs together. We don't. But I sent you a message, Bill, which I will do because I'm behind. I'm all behind.
Hot scene.
It's the sexiest sex scene of all. He's exactly the guy you want to have a sex scene. He's still kicking, I believe. I think he's still around. Of all the people, like you wouldn't think like if you said which one's alive, him or Robert Zadar, it would be kind of but he'd be like, come on. Ow. Police brutality.
Different time.
That's true. Hey, they're just doing what has to be done. They're getting the job done.
Yeah.
Thud. The subtitle for the sound effects is thud during this sex scene. Thud. It's not going away either. Thud. I heard a thud.
It's all about the thuds.
Looks like this is his last fuck. That's what just police death squad. Just going to execute people. Because if he's going to jail, it's definitely not his last fuck. He looks like someone who's going to be having all the fucks.
I can't open the... Is this one that you just move across, or you kind of push out and move across?
No. Push it, then push it, then pull it.
Lift the thing.
Lift it.
Turn and lift.
No, up. You turn and lift.
Oh, I hate screen doors.
Yeah, they're the worst. Ow! Ow! It really hurts. Oh my guts! Right, they're there for that jacket.
That's a.
Ooh, Defender. A fucking Defender coin up.
And it seemed to be a water cooler full of, like, cola. It had, like, a proper, 5-litre jug thing, but it was brown liquid.
There's a stuntman whose upper body was in the shape of a D. It was just like this. It looked very painful. What a delightful lantern.
Nice little bit of advertising for ADT home security. Not sure why I know ADT to home security.
Alarms do that, is what that means.
Alarms do that. Yeah. It's a classic slogan. Alarms do that.
Ring, beep, beep. Alarms do that.
Someone's robbing my house. If only my house made a sound.
Alarms do that. That was a very big campaign for ADT. Can you imagine if instead of G4 we had ADT and they were called Alarms Do That?
That would be brilliant. I would trust a company with a down-to-earth, folksy name.
Yeah, it does what it says on the tin. Alarms don't come in tins. Okay, we'll call it Alarms Do That. There are two companies in the world. There's ADT and there's ADDT. Alarms do that and alarms don't do that.
Very true.
And it just covers...
Just two types of business.
Does it warm a pan? Alarms don't do that. ADD.
No.
ADDT, that's who you go to. Is it something I can put on my feet to prevent contact with the ground? Alarms don't do that. ADD. Is it a bell that makes a noise when someone has or hasn't done something I do or don't want? Alarms do that.
What about, like, does it strike metal? Because alarms do that. But then, does that mean like a pneumatic hammer?
I thought I discovered a flawless system, and also something that could be improvised into an alarm by the A-Team, like a pneumatic hammer.
You could call it the ADT system, or the ADTS.
You could. Well, yeah, I like yours. I was going to start up ADT. Alarms don't always do that.
Oh.
But then I think that just opens up the market a bit too much.
You don't want grey areas.
There's people calling out the wigs.
Good. My dad worked for ADT.
Ryan Swayze's got the ADT knowledge, dropping bombs.
Oh, and Ryan and Phil both had dads who worked for ADT.
Alarms do that.
There we go.
Alarms do that.
I bet you always heard alarms do that back at home.
Those guys get up on time every day. They never burn their food.
Yep.
Their blood sugar's always perfect. Their cars are never stolen. Their houses are never robbed.
Yeah. They love the song 68 Guns.
Yeah. They're always in a state of alertness and panic, though.
Yes. It's true. It's a tough life.
It's a tough life. It's an efficient yet weirdly scary life. Being the son of an ADT regional representative.
Oh, Dan Lyles has gone for attention, dirty thief. I like that.
Attention, dirty thief.
My dad worked for PCP. Your dad wasn't a drug runner, was he, Phil Robb?
He worked for PCP.
I'm in PCP.
Look out, he's got belt blades. I got belt blades.
That's the thing, belt blades went out of fashion, and now they're back in fashion.
Well, I think the thing is, I think because most people now, the economy's changed, so people work at desks, and if you're sitting with a belt blade, it digs into your back all the time. So you end up, personally, I always take and I'm someone who works from home, but I think it's very important to have a shower and get dressed before I start my day. But as soon as I sit down, my belt blades go right into the into my back fat, and they just come out, and I pop them on the side. And quite often, I'll go out to the toilet or something, and then that's when I'm attacked by a samurai cop, and I don't have them because they're at my desk. And then you have to have this whole embarrassing thing about, excuse me, samurai cop, I need to go back. And you go, well, they're supposed to be in your bed. Why don't you get an alarm from ADT to tell you that you're... And I say, but warning. Alarms don't do that.
Blades unholstered. Warning.
Blades unholstered.
I went for the surgery. I've got the spring-loaded.
The Wolverines.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a traditionalist, so I'd like to have them spring-loaded into my back fat. So they can come out of my back fat.
So if two people are standing next to you, you can just go...
Sort of Wolverine that sort of looks like this. It comes up the screen.
So some sort of kind of vicious side hug.
It's always like, he's constantly putting people's heads next to his back fat. I like the idea of him as a tortured immortal. I must say, he looks fabulous in that wig, doesn't he? He's got those real sort of Littlewoods catalogue. It looks sort of greasy as well.
I just imagine wearing that in that heat. Just don't have to worry about lights. So that's a plus.
Yeah.
They're not going to heat it up.
Oh, there's Larry Blackmon from Cameo.
And Dave Hedgehog.
Blackmon and Hedgehog.
They were going to do a song together. Do you think that's why his hands are there, to cover?
Those are just chaps, and it's to cover the kind of red posing parts. Yeah, I loved it when Mel B did a cover of Word Up for the Austin Powers soundtrack. It's the best version of that song. That was definitely not a misjudged thing. So that's quite cool. Look, they've got a on the glass table. That's neat.
That's the best. That's the best shot I've seen.
Accidental creative decision.
No, that's the best shot of camera under a glass table I've seen.
And you've seen a few, haven't you? As a connoisseur of the work of Blackmon and Hedgehog, I've seen a few. Is Zadar Trump Jr.? Good question.
There's some good belt knife questions coming up. Oh, belt blade, should I say. The risk of causing genital injury is very real, Doug. Very real.
Z. Klingensmith is jealous of Hannon's fringe or bangs.
Bangs. I've never understood why they're called bangs.
It's one of those old American... Yeah, it's one of the strange transatlantic things, isn't it?
That almost looked like Walt Disney, though. There's a guy with a pipe.
They spent most of their budget on Walt Disney's Frozen Head. which they used earlier on in that scene in the hospital.
Because we were talking about this a while ago, weren't we? Because Walt Disney, he's not meant to have actually frozen his head.
Go on, but my little brother gave me the kind of download on why that rumour started yesterday.
Oh wow, Roger Rabbit.
Oh, I'm surprised I didn't get sued for using that.
But
look at the jitter, look at the shake of the cameras.
But people did get cryogenically frozen.
Oh god, yeah, massively. It was a huge thing.
And what's the deal? Are they still there?
There's Vice did a piece about this actually.
Okay.
Yes and no, because firstly you have to pay to keep your person cryogenically frozen. Secondly, loads of these companies went out of business.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you know how grave sites don't become, because you're relying on your relatives to pay like thousands of pounds a year to keep your head frozen, and like a generation down where they never met Grandad, and he's a frozen box that costs them £10,000 a month. So two things: that there's those businesses going out of business and whatever, and secondly, quite a lot of them were bought by other businesses doing that to maintain the stock and neglected them. So it was discovered that quite a lot of frozen heads and stuff had been defrosted in transit and then refrosted again, so they were now unusable, which is ridiculous. So yeah, that was a huge thing, and the kind of gourmet thing was to have your whole body done, but the cheaper option is just have your head done. And
just a hand.
Did you ever read the Transmetropolitan story about the people that get on frozen? You've read the Transmetropolitan?
Yeah.
There's, because they have those little vignettes. There's a really great one about a woman who is, it's because he's a journalist, so it's one of his pieces. There's a whole kind of subculture of homeless people who it's essentially Future Shock from Dread. Like they all had their heads frozen and stuff back in the day, and she wakes up in the year 20 billion or whatever, and she just absolutely cannot integrate with society. Nothing makes sense. She can't get a job. And it's really cool. It's a really nice version of that because they finally have the insanely ridiculous technology to make that viable. It seems that Walt Disney, one of his contemporaries, like someone big in the business, did have their head frozen. And for some reason that transferred onto Uncle Walt himself, as if he...
Because it was someone no one knew the name of, and so they just went, Walt Disney.
Zdarsky, everybody. It's just like Oprah in the cars, isn't it? Everybody gets a sex scene. And there's lots of camera like directly down bum crack in this as well. Zadar's fucking dining out on that, isn't he?
Thank you very much, Randall Windle.
Randall Windle official $4.99. Thank you very much, Randall. Please ask your questions since you've donated.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
I love the one before. It was just tits for ages. It's just like that to me is funny because it's so uncreative. Like, be as salacious as you want. Don't care. I don't give a shit. But like when it's just tits for ages, it's great.
He's sucking chin.
Well, look at his dirty feet. Dirty Zadar feet.
To be fair, I reckon walking on that carpet probably.
Oh yeah, so that's another. So like this kind of villa or the villa from the end just gets reused across all of Servan's movies because it's just sort of like having a.
Randall says, "Would you guys cover Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?"
Not as a watch party because it's long. I mean, I'd be up for talking about it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not madly enthusiastic about. There's other Dave Hedgehog. I'm not madly enthusiastic about Tarantino. At the best of times, I think I've got some things to say about it because I saw it when it came out last year. I've
definitely got things to say about it. I'm not sure how popular those views are. It's interesting. It's not. I don't think it's not my least favourite Tarantino film, but I don't get it. Yeah,
I just thought it was. I think Tarantino slipped into insane self-indulgence, and I just sort of thought like that film. He clearly didn't have anywhere to take that story, so he just went anywhere with it. And because he had to move away from the Weinstein Company, and I think he went to Sony, so that was his first like non-Weinstein one, I think. And they bid to get that. And of course, like you're hiring Tarantino, you can let him do whatever he wants because everyone's going to watch it. They're going to lap it up and. His films aren't that expensive compared to kind of Endgames and stuff like that. So most of the money goes on his insistence on shooting on film because he thinks people notice. I just thought it was kind of an indulgent masturbatory mess.
Yeah.
With lots of... I've said this before, I think there is probably about several really great short films in it. Because there are great bits.
There are great little scenes, there's great dialogue. It looks really lovely. There are very good actors in it. But there didn't seem to be any point to anything. It just... It's this weird, meandering...
I've seen more films than you by Quentin Tarantino. Is what that could be called. But there are sections of it that were really great. But by the end, I just had my arms folded. I was just going like, "What the fuck? Like, what's going on here? Like, I don't see the point in this." Look at Business Hannon.
He looks great, Business Hannon. He looks quite like was he called IRS? There was a wrestling heel who was there to make people pay their taxes, and everyone hated him.
See, what I like about about wrestling is you can describe a character like that, and everyone would have to guess whether they're a wrestler or a G.I. Joe.
Or both.
Or both,
yeah,
in the
Sergeant
case of Sergeant
Slaughter.
Slaughter, yeah. Why not both?
Oh, my supervisor loves Tarantino and hates that film. The last Tarantino film I've seen was Kill Bill Volume 2. Great film.
Yeah, but Mr. H, you see, Brad Pitt is older than Leo DiCaprio, but in way sicker shape. Like, it's frightening the shape that. Well, I suppose you have nutritionists and shit when you're that much of a star. But like, he's like what, pushing 60, and he's just in like incredible shapes. Of course, he is.
Yeah, and good genes for it. I think ultimately he's someone who's always looked good, and he carries on looking good. He's got the benefit of probably paying someone 80 grand a year to keep him or a company's paying that guy 80 grand a year to keep him in shape.
Someone's paying someone 8 grand a year.
So yeah, not bad. It's like that guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. His tweet about how to stay in shape.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. It's just like, the short version is, it's fucking miserable. I mean, I like being in shape, but I also like beer and pizza, so,
Pizza. Slingin' za.
Slingin' za. Yeah, see, like Matt Hannon at a wedding, Business Hannon. Oh no. Not her throat, she needs that for breathing.
Poor Sally. It's a bad end.
So it feels very Italian in that it's that combination of tits and blood. It's got that real. See, you think Dario Argento's so good?
See, this could just be a scene from The Sopranos.
Oh, it's a Dario in The Sopranos.
That'd be great.
Look
what
at that
a world.
fucking roadie in the background. He doesn't even look like he's part of the scene. He's just there chewing some gum.
They've
That's
got
young John Carpenter,
No,
actually, isn't it?
well, it's like the white-haired guy. It's like all these weird alternate dimension John Carpenters that just kind of phase into.
Carpenters.
Yeah, they just phase into Samurai Cop.
Oh, crumbs.
Aww,
That's rough.
it's so sad. But now some beach time.
Hannon in a budgie smuggler.
Oh.
It's what we've all waited for.
Yeah, definitely got Fabio vibes. Was it Fabio who?
He got hit in the face by a seagull.
It was good.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
that's internet legend. He just gets off like a bloodied face, like
Oh,
fucking hell.
not fun. But in a way, he fought the war.
And the war won.
He's one of the few humans who got one over.
To be fair, he did have an enormous baguette just in his mouth at the time. I ran into a bee today. A bee died on me today, which I feel quite bad about, but I'm kind of quasi-allergic to bee stings, so I can feel this is going to be like, if it wasn't already like a big Popeye arm, because it's my right arm, wanking jokes, it's going to be even more of one tomorrow. It's quite red already. I felt really bad, because bees don't like to sting you, so I must have run into it. And before I knew it, there was a stinger and bee guts, because if you let them, they'll work their way out, won't they? Because pulling out tears their guts out, but it's got an immense amount of strength in a circular motion. So if you allow them to move in a circle, they will get free. But if they're stinging, they're already panicked, so normally they fly off and tear their own guts out. So if you're willing to put up with it, because it does hurt, it will work its way free, if you're alright with that. If it panics, it just runs. Because I just went like, oh fuck, and I saw a bee, and because you see the stinger, because you have to pull the stinger out, and there's a string of guts in it, isn't there? Poor bee, felt sorry for the bee.
Maybe it was a critic.
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't like the channel.
Yeah, it's true. He was in the last live stream. He was furious about what I said about. Next week, I'm going to just get attacked by ocelots at like Highlander.
If only. Ah, wonderful ocelots. You can only hope.
Yeah, isn't it like what's her name? The crazy one from Archer. She's got like an ocelot. In her
Yeah,
house.
she does.
What's your favourite ocelot? Mine's Revolver.
Good shout.
Man, that dude's skinny. The partner guy. It's kind of like normally they like to team up the hunky dude with like a kind of schlubby dude, but he's not schlubby. He's just like mad skinny.
Mm.
I'm sure someone gets shot in the dick in this. I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong.
I can definitely believe it.
So that's not bad. They did the thing where the makeup was clearly already there and he revealed it. And it is quite effective. It's kind of like, you know, when someone throws a knife and then you pan the camera quickly to where a knife's already stuck into a thing.
Mm.
It always works really well.
Yeah. No. Oh, we can't see a bum. We had subtitle bum coverage there.
Ivan quits. This is bullshit.
Well, you know, it's like old school knife throwing. When, you know, you pretend to throw a knife and then you have one smash out from the other side of the board.
Mm.
Just works.
Mm. I think it's part of that's a sound, isn't it? It's like, whoa, Mr. HEC, a bee stung my penis once, and my ex said it tasted like honey. I'm like, oh, boo. Oh, I'm lying. She left me before I could find out. See what you did there? You took me on a journey, and when you got to I'm lying, I wanted to hear about the elephantitis penis. I don't know if you remember this. You might not. When we were in, I'm going to say year 11 or year 10, I got stung in the eye by a bee when I was on my paper round.
Okay.
And then I had like elephant man face for like a week on this side. Because you know when I said I was like, I'm sort of like quasi allergic. Like I don't die or anything. Like unfortunate people, I just get mad swole. And I had like, I couldn't open my eye for like 3 or 4 days. An elephant man face. And again, that was me riding into the bee. Wasps are cunts, but bees, you know,
Yeah, bees are all
just
good.
trying to make honey and be cool.
You know, wasps are misunderstood. They're like, there he is again, John Carpenter. He's
John
phased
Carpenter.
in.
He's phased into our reality. He's not in the original cut.
Oh yeah, no, he'll
just-
turn and look at us soon, and then kind of beckon us.
He'll pitch us a sequel to The Thing that's going to be made by Blumhouse next year. Oh, he's got the cut-off jean shorts, the jorts, lovely. Jorts.
Oh, Zadar's so quiet. It's his classic
The talk's getting quite penisy.
penis talk.
I'm going to let that exist in the chat, that's fine.
Be careful.
Hey.
I'm happy there's some punnage.
Yeah, where's your pun game this week?
Oh,
guys?
hey there, Adrian Mendoza.
Mendoza! Mendoza's probably at work. You normally working, aren't you, man? Like these days, because you're in that America. Hey, good to see you, man. Hope this is an enlightening lunch break with Samurai Cop. Open parentheses. Slap.
Another thud.
Third. They're all about the sound effects. Oh yeah, a bit rapey. It's all right. Samurai Cop's going to Samurai Cop it.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't remember this. That's horrible.
You gotta say, they're mean boys. At least it didn't go thud.
She's taking it like a boss, though.
Mm.
She's going to get Rwenge. Maybe she shoots him in the dick. I don't know. Oh.
All to catch a samurai.
To Catch a Samurai. That's that guy's show on NBC Dateline, isn't it? Can you imagine the chats? It's kind of like, yeah, I got sick armor. How old are you? Yeah, of course I'm from Japan. So, you're here to meet a samurai, is that right? No. Chris Hansen. I watched a fucking massive YouTube video about Chris Hansen. He's had a really... I think I might have been watching it in here when you were
Yeah, I
sort of
think I
making
might
dinner or
watched a
something.
bit of it with you.
Yeah, he's tried to revive that because that format got cancelled because that geezer shot himself, and he's been trying to revive it online, and there's been like a dodgy Kickstarter involved and everything. Yeah.
Whereas over here, we've just got the amateurs.
Yes, yeah, those are scary, man. Those fucking YouTube vids.
Mm.
Worms T17, just a little thing. Richard, earlier your bro got 22 viewers on his stream. Oh, there you go. And our stream is now being hosted on Conversation Hat and on Neil's channel.
Mm.
Look at that. Hannon and his budgie smuggler with the birthday cake. So this is the bit where the film starts to meander quite a bit.
Mm.
It just sort of starts doing this shit for far too long before it gets to kind of the big shootout bit at the end. Birthday cakes. Though to be fair, there's stuff going on in the oil fat thing.
I wonder if he does that on Cameo now.
What comes to in his budgie smuggler? Comes the camera with a cake and a budgie smuggler.
And then post the cake.
I'm gonna look up Matt. Let's see if Matt Hannon's on Cameo. Because I should probably check the PayPal.
I'm kind of obsessed with Cameo. I want to get into the Cameo guts.
Cameo guts.
Find someone really cool to pay 20 quid to.
Gilbert Gottfried's on there, but he ain't cheap, as I recall.
I can imagine he is not cheap.
Remember, that voice is going to be in demand.
Getting Gilbert Gottfried to chew someone out for you would be awesome.
Gary from Deadmau5 got Angelos Epithemiou to do one for Adam.
Yeah,
That's fucking great.
That's very cool.
That was a great bit of fictional reality crossing over into my universe. I'm going to say Matt Hannon's not on Cameo. But if Matt Hannon is on Cameo, we should spend the super chat money on getting him to do a video. It's all about Jonathan Frakes, man. The world's most charismatic man.
And Jonathan, that Frakes one I saw for RLM.
For RLM.
He's just so low-ended. And Star Trek words that you people like. It's just like, to infinity and beyond, and make it so, and...
Infinity and beyond.
So it's like, mate.
Ian said PayPal's not in the description. It's because restream. Piss. Okay, well, fuck. Those who I'll put it. It's too late to put it in. Those who put it in, that means they've done the legwork to go to. Fucking hell.
You'll get paid back in double in the next life. That's what you should tell.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. Doesn't seem that Matt Hannon's on Cameo.
More naughty bits. I like it, Mr. HEC 381991.
David Hayter is £65 on Cameo, so I would quite like a David Hayter message. I've got the codec as my ringtone on my phone. That's how much I would like a David Hayter message.
65 buns.
Yeah, he's a voice. Dan Larson is Breen on Cameo. No way, Breen.
No, surely not.
He takes himself far too seriously for all that. Like,
yeah.
Because fucking Carol Baskin was on Cameo, and someone tricked her into wishing Rolf Harris happy birthday from Jimmy Savile, which is just like I mean, it was brilliant, but
that's the thing for me. I got Colin Holt, stand-up comedian Colin Holt, to do in his Rutherford Lodge voice a birthday message for my brother, and although that means nothing to no one, I can't see anything beating that. I was super duper chuffed with that.
I got Corey Taylor to do a message for Kath in person on video.
Oh, that's nice.
Bless him, he was so beleaguered and knackered, and I could tell by then he didn't want to do it, but I'd asked. He was really, really... He's one of the nicest fucking geezers,
pro.
Man. Oh, mate, he's lovely. He's so fucking nice. Ian McGrath says Alexa Bliss is 460 on Cameo. Anyone want to give me it? I don't know who Alexa Bliss is.
Oh, Alexa Bliss is a wrestler.
Oh,
I'm
glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. That sounds like a wrestler name.
She's WWE, so it's
I think
a bit out of
Sean's into his. Ian's into his wrestling, so I imagine that.
Yeah, I'm not good with my modern day WWE. Sean Astin is 244 quid. Oi.
See, Sean Astin's great and everything, but it doesn't have like an amazing voice.
Yeah.
Like if you say like David Hayter to me, I'm kind of like, yeah, David Hayter's got a great voice. Like he's a voice guy. Not that they have to be voice guys, but you know, like Bruce Campbell or something. You know, because Angelos Epithemiou in character as well. Because the thing he did for Adam was just like slagging off his looks and stuff. It's great. Because Adam's very like he's one of those people that's always like immaculate. You know, he's all groomed and like he likes his nice clothes and stuff. So I don't know. Gary probably told him to do that, but it's just him slagging off his appearance. John Carpenter just died.
Oh, John.
Oh.
What a shame.
Quickly get into the Circus Big Top.
No blood, though.
No. John Carpenter's don't bleed. He's an interdimensional sprite.
Haven't got time to bleed.
Robert Picardo is...
Yeah.
Robert Picardo's £83. Is that...
83. I knew he was on there.
The Soup Nazi is 64.40. I've heard the Soup Nazi's on there.
God. The Soup Nazi. Jeez Louise.
Lots of people from Seinfeld like to dine out on being on Seinfeld, though, don't they?
Yeah, Billy Zane, $200. Chesney Hawkes is not £6. That's a lie. Surely not.
Chesney Hawkes. I'm Chesney Hawkes. Let's go to Cameo.
You know, I wouldn't pay him. I hated Chesney Hawkes at the time. I did see him live.
What was his film called? Could you remember the Buddy song? It was such a big deal that they made such a huge deal out of that, and then it was just like...
Well, I think that's, it was that time in Australia where they'd make weird films.
He's a British film.
Oh,
Chesney Horse is British
film?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So you don't even know where he's from. That's the level of acknowledgement of Chesney, right? It's like fucking... And I don't blame you either. With a name like Chesney.
No. Well, I thought it was... I don't know why. Yeah, I thought it was an Australian-related film.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's one of those kind of rock and roll throwback things that everybody liked back then.
Mm.
Yep, Chesney Hawkes, country music singer. Interesting.
Okay.
I suppose that's what he's doing with himself these days, because he did the whole thing of doing student unions and stuff, didn't he? Like, he did all that.
Yeah, well, I saw him post 2000s, and he was very good live. He was, don't care about the music, but he was professional.
Someone's getting fact checked. Who said Chesney Hawkes was £6?
I think it's further down.
Benny Legend, Benny. Chesney Hawkes is £83 for a request. For a chat is $12.44, and I don't know why that would be less.
That seems weird. Yeah.
Request £83, chat $12.44.
I don't know how it works. Maybe you pay for a request.
You're only
and they
allowed
might
to say
turn
one
you down.
word.
Can I speak to you? No. Oh, is there another long shot in this?
With the wig again. See, that was I liked Doug Jones used the one and only in Moon and in Source Code in quite sly ways, because I think it's his alarm clock in Moon. Duncan Jones, sorry, it's his alarm clock in Moon, and it's his ringtone, I think, in. And it's about films about copies of people and stuff, and it's like, it's very, very nicely done. And you'd have to have like grown up here really to know.
Mm.
Oh, Maria Conchita Alonso's $100. Maria Conchita Alonso, $100. Yeah, I mean, it depends how much you're into Maria Conchita Alonso. But like for a channel like ours, if you call yourselves Valverde, you get Maria Conchita Alonso. I wonder who we could get. I'm sort of wondering about getting a cameo for a laugh now.
A Valverde relevant cameo.
Valverde relevant. Oh, Dan Hedaya.
You're listening.
Dan Hedaya tried to overthrow Valverde.
You're listening and or watching.
It's got to be something like that. It's got to be like really unwieldy.
Oh, Zordon from the Power Rangers, 20 quid.
Oh.
Nice.
David J for 2075.
I used to know someone who was Kelly Brook's cousin. He tried to call his aunt once Kelly...
Where is it? I used to know someone who was
Wonnacott.
Kelly Brook's cousin. He tried to call his aunt once Kelly, and then boyfriend Billy Zane was there. He answered and said, "Hi, this is Billy Zane."
Brilliant. And that was free. That didn't cost $200.
It's Duncan Casey on Cameo. No. He's on Val Valley Broadcasting. Send a super chat and he might get some sleep. I don't It's like, don't send money. Send him like Valium, poor bastard.
Oh, what's Steve Allen saying? He just says, my stepdad drove him on his bus. He said he was honking. And I want to know who he's talking about.
What?
So scroll up a bit.
My stepdad drove his bus.
Shooter McGavin?
Shooter McGavin. Yeah, the guy, he was the captain of the Enterprise C. And he was Shooter McGavin, the evil golf guy in Billy Madison. No, not Billy Madison. Golfy McGolf Kid, whatever that's called. The fucking golfing Adam Sandler movie. Happy Gilmore.
That's it.
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
Oh, yeah, that guy. That guy.
There's so much wig in this end scene. And everything's blue. So I don't want to criticise like overexposed or badly coloured film, because I worked with film once and it was nearly the end of me and I hated it so much. And I'll never ever do it. I love that letting off the guns.
That's such a killer haircut as well.
There's a lot of flat. I love this guy. Like this geezer looks like he just runs a mechanic. Look, he just runs a really shit sort of car yard somewhere. That guy also sort of looks like he shouldn't really be there. Like he's wandered in. Just some guy. He was a guy who actually lived there. He's just trying to defend his property.
I reckon he owned the land. They're like, "Do you want to be an extra?" Okay. What are you doing here?
How much are you paying me? He's got some mad boobs. Wow, he's like a Terminator. Jesus Christ, he won't go down. End boss.
Look at that.
Wow. Isn't that like Paul Foot?
It's got a Paul Foot vibe. Also looks a bit like if Neil Hannon had long hair.
I think, yeah. There's loads of diversity within the extras, but not on purpose. Like, he just got shot in the heart and just carried on.
It's just like the end scene in Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes. It's so much orange now. It was like, it's just pissy orange. Before it was kind of like blue. Now it's sort of urea. You can just smell the ammonia. You ruined that television.
No, yeah, it gives it that real kind of 70s sheen. Nice kind of tobacco-stained lighting.
Is Tommy Wiseau on Cameo? Kevin Conroy, 83 quid. I can believe that.
Surely Tommy is.
He's such a slut, man. Like,
for tons of money.
Yes.
For like $300.
Tommy Lee, Tommy Chong.
Tommy Chong, of course.
No Wiseau. That surprises me.
Jason Mantzoukas. Jason Mantzoukas is someone I'd pay to get a message from. He's a super dude.
No Jason Mantzoukas.
Ah, he's too classy.
No. I didn't look for Dan Hedaya yet. Oh.
But there must be tons of wrestlers. Yeah, I should really have a proper look at Cameo sometime.
No Dan Hedaya. Cameo's bullshit. I'm boycotting it.
Although, to be fair, a lot of wrestlers are dead. So.
Well, they can be in Tenet then, can't they?
They can be in Tenet.
They can be in Tenet with dead Robert Zadar.
Robert Zadar and Mr. Fuji in Tenet.
I thought it was really important to cast British Bulldog to give the film that transatlantic feel.
Mr. Fuji is meant to have... Okay, this...
I mean, I can tell this is going to be good, so just carry on.
It's a bad story, guys. If you don't like bad things, listen away now.
People tend not to like bad things, but okay.
He's meant to have fed someone their own dog.
Oh, I think I've heard it. Yeah. That's like in Theatre of Blood. You must have watched Theatre of Blood.
It's, yeah, not a nice man. Zooks! Good work, Jason King.
From one Jason to another. We're out. See, this is the... Are we in Wigtown or out of Wigtown? Is the whole end scene? Oh, yeah, it is. Look how scratchy the film is. Oh, no! Don't worry, it's a fake out just like in Turner and Hooch. And also K9. Did the dog get shot in both of those?
Probably. That weird time. Yeah, dog cops.
Dog cops. I love the end of Turner and Hooch where it's kind of like, this is a human hospital for humans. You gotta save my dog. I'm Tom Hanks. Oh, he's wearing a vest. Now I know I can watch Samurai Cop 2 for free.
Yeah. It's like,
it's
probably not going to be. It's not going to be 2.5 hours long. Dan
Lyle says, no surprise that Ernie Hudson has a cameo. I hate to endorse that, but it's true. Bless him. Get you lines from Oz.
Yeah, dog got shot on both.
Were
both of them post LA riots?
I don't know.
Because I wonder if it's like cops are kind of bad now. What if we make dogs cops? Everyone loves dogs.
Everyone loves dogs.
And Tom Hanks. Everyone loves Tom Hanks.
I think in K9 the dog dies. Doesn't the dog die in K9? Oh no, doesn't the dog die in Turner and Hooch and then there's Puppy? I think the dog dies in Turner and Hooch and then there's Puppies. It's supposed to be like an old dog. And then he's got loads of hooches eating his shoes. And he's like, oh, I'm still uptight and like my shoes. And then it ends. One of them dies. Maybe neither of them dies. Oh, Kiefer Sutherland in terms of honking. Stepdad that drove buses. Yeah, I mean, like, I think he was an alcoholic, wasn't he? He was a recovering alcoholic. Kiefer Sutherland, I think. So I could believe that. Dog dies in Turner and Hooch. Excellent. There we go. Dog facts.
Debbie Harry around.
There you go.
And she had the cigarette burn from Videodrome.
Oh, fuck, Jesus. What was... Oh, man, there's some nuts. What was that story about someone taking a photo of Debbie Harry and she absolutely lost her shit? You ever heard that? It's like...
it gives me Bjork flashbacks. Which, considering I wasn't even in Taiwan when that happened, is scary
yeah, some of you
image.
may be stunned to know that Ivan wasn't there. I know, despite what you may have heard.
Well, I shouldn't have flashbacks
You weren't present for.
for a thing I wasn't at and happened when I was like 9 years old. Oh, look at Hedgehog. He's missed the boat. He's gonna survive.
Johnny Cash as Dave Hedgehog.
Oh, sweet Metallica t-shirt, bro.
Definitely, this is definitely a film where people provided their own costume.
Oh, yeah. Bjork to the future. Nice work.
That lad kicks the door in, that's great.
Did we all watch Lost Boys on Friday night? Oh, was it? Oh, it's on TV, wasn't it? It's on BBC One, I think.
Apparently Robocop 2 was on, you were saying as well. Oh, that wasn't you, someone said. Maybe it's Chris. Robocop 2 was on TV.
Oh, yes, I watched a tiny bit of it. I watched the kid die. Kid die. Oh, and woman die as well. They all die in that bit.
They all die, yeah. She died in real life recently. It's quite sad. She was only like 50. She was like a dancer and a singer and stuff.
Oh, geez,
I don't know if it's COVID related. Anyway, let's raise the tone. Haha, willies and such. Old haircuts are funny.
Tone is raised. Tone raised 5%.
I award 15 credits to the city of Milton Keynes. That's right, I'm referencing Ice Warriors, the defunct Gladiators ripoff. You didn't see that coming, did you? There goes fucking Dave. Look, Johnny Cash, Dave Hedgehog. You can barely lift that gun. He's 100% 1,000 years old.
Good to hear Suicide Squad was on RTE too, Ian. By the way, Ian, is this a romantic Dutch meal we're eating?
Yeah.
There are tulips, Dutch gold. Oh, and also, is that the hand from The Dead Don't Die? Because I reckon it is. Oh, good work. Nice.
I just looked like I was sucking a big willy. Wait.
Okay, I'll try and get my sandwich. I'm having far too much fun.
I don't like that.
There we go. The light's been moved. I'm waiting for Ian update on this. Lost Boys, the only blonde mullet I ever loved. It's a Knacker's holiday dinner. Used to get that as a child down the country. Dutch gold. I've never come across Dutch gold. Oh, nice. Oh. And tulips. You get tulips. Oh, kind of disappointed with The Dead Don't Die, Ryan. I liked it. Yeah, I've had enough. You have some of my sweet sandwich.
Stream highlight vid.
I like The Dead Don't Die. It's not a zombie film, but I liked it as a kind of interesting,
I haven't
weird
watched it yet, but
indie
Jim
film.
Jarmusch doing a kind of horror comedy. I'm into it.
Yeah.
How did Ian explain this delicious meal?
Boomers discover Zoom. Nice.
A Knacker's holiday dinner. I used to get that as a child down the country. So Dutch gold, tulips, chips, a zombie hand, and a sandwich.
Yeah, I guess maybe cheese, ham, tomato. I would have thought a toasty. That's what I think. Kind of old school.
Dutch gold is the cheapest cheap beer, like warm scatter. Nice. We're not living tonight. So you eat spaghetti lady in the tramp style. It'd be mime spaghetti as well, so it would be just kissing. That's all that would be. Listen, you can go to our OnlyFans for that.
Yeah, we might have some dry spaghetti, but I think that's more likely to snap.
Brittle dry spaghetti. Sorry, biscotti.
Biscotti.
A skeleton eating biscotti.
Or spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Son, I'm very disappointed.
Tsar and spaghetti.
Robert Zaza.
Robert Zarda.
Robert Zarda.
He created the pizza radar.
Did he?
Yeah, the Zarda.
The Zarda. You can detect pizza from a mile away and put it inside his huge mouth.
Look at him. He looks great wielding his Japanese
See,
sword.
that's a good shot. Like a low horizon line, and they're doing that kind of slightly Kurosawa thing, but unfortunately cut after like 3 seconds. They're just really slowly walking to each other doing stupid moves, but... I think Matt Hannon had some kind of like MMA, what you would these days call MMA experience.
Oh, okay.
And he's obviously a very fit guy, but he didn't have any like martial arts anything. So suddenly he's running around with a sword. That's Zadar just going bananas. You both get to see a lady's boobies. Will you do it? Yes, we'll just wave these swords at each other now. I think, is this a mixture of? I think this is all wig. I think the third act is all wig. Yeah.
Like any third act should be.
Yeah, I'd love if that was a sort of unspoken convention of Western film. It's like in the third act, everyone wears weird wigs.
There's the 180 rule, the third act wig,
the
wig
Kuleshov effect, and the third act wig rule. It comes from the Soviet realist tradition. The montage.
I don't think I realised he had a ponytail until now.
What, Zadar?
Yeah.
Has anyone listened to the Robert Zadar jazz band? That better not be a joke, Captain Meets Adventures.
If it's a real jazz band, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. The tulips will be picked from a local beach area and spice up the rented caravan. See, when we used to go caravan holidays, I think we'd have probably chips at least once as a treat. But I think my mum would cook in the caravan from the happy shopper down at the campsite. Good times.
I was talking to my parents about potato cakes recently. Used to just deep fried potato.
Wait, sorry. Z says this is like a fight of who wore it better. I like they've got inverted colours and everything.
I'd go for Zadar.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I'm just backing Hannon because I don't want him to be 2 against 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, Hannon's a dude. Definitely, but peak Zadar.
Peak Zadar, but Zadar he looked fucking cool, didn't he? As well?
Yeah.
And he looks mean. I mean, that's why he could do Maniac Cop and stuff like that.
No, that's the thing. You wouldn't want to steal the car ornament from Zadar's car. He comes out of his house in his vest.
I could. The thing is,
ornament.
All I'm picturing is Fight for Your Right era Beastie Boys stealing the Mercedes sign off of
Seth Rogen.
Yes.
Seth Rogen dressed as Adderog.
Danny McBride and whoever the other one was. I can't remember who.
Was it Will Ferrell? No.
Oh,
No. It was bloody. What do you call that? Jesus.
From what?
With the face,
John Lithgow.
Oh, not with the
Open up a restaurant with Ted Danson.
The wee fella.
Dude, come on. Say some films they've been in.
He's in Sin City with the glasses.
Oh, Elijah Wood.
There we go.
The wee fella. We're talking about the videos from the final Beastie Boys album for anybody who's
really good. If
really
you haven't
good.
seen it, it's awesome.
Really good. Everyone's just like tuning out. See, someone has offered up James Franco, and I knew it wasn't, but that's where I would have gone from Ivan's Clues. So James Franco. Joseph Gordon-Levitt says, Dan Lars.
Primark, or as the Irish call it, pennies. That's my Bart Simpson corn maze.
No, I see. That's my Super Nintendo charm, as I see. Morris.
James Franco. That's good shout, Stephen. But it was Elijah Wood. But you're right in my very accurate descriptions I was giving. James Franco is a good answer.
I would have gone there, yeah. Or Dave Franco. The best Franco. I mean, there's only 2 to choose from. He's at least best Franco.
Yeah, Dave is the best because James is unacceptable.
That's the best description. If I could review James Franco's LinkedIn, I would review him as unacceptable. Have you guys seen the snots of the Netflix Resident Evil series that got officially released today? Oh god, I heard this was happening. Wait, this is not the live action one, because the new live action Resident Evil is being directed by Johannes Roberts, who is the son of my old boss.
Oh.
He directed a film called F that was all shot at CRC.
About paying respect.
Yes, that's the
Nice.
one. He used to be a director, but he took an arrow to the knee. That's an old meme. Yeah, no, he was attached. I don't know. What? Live action Resident Evil series went on Netflix today. which is just, it sounds like pure Jackson bait. It's like, how do we make Richard angry now? I've had a really long week. I've been very busy in a very productive way, but I'm really ready just for it to be the weekend. And people are sending me about Resident Evil series, a live action Resident Evil series. Fucking Jesus.
Yeah, everyone's saying it's a Netflix series. Have you seen
Oh
Upgrade?
God! It just. Oh God!
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
I mean, look at there's this kind of placeholder graphic where it just says Resident Evil. That's our focus. Nearly 3 decades of discovery of the T-virus, an outbreak reveals the Umbrella Corporation's dark secrets based on the horror franchise. Can't watch it, my guys. Like, I can't. It's there. I can't watch it. Maybe it's only on US Netflix, and it's probably for the best.
Do they do that though?
I think sometimes. Hold on, I've got to fucking Google this now. Entertain everybody, Ivan. If I can learn about this.
Yeah, so you're all being entertained as we speak. I'm making that clear right now.
You fucking better be entertained.
Okay, well, that is quite strange about Resident Evil.
Yeah.
As a series and a Netflix series.
I've got a little placeholder on my UK Netflix, but I've got a VPN, so...
30 years in the future. I'm never a big believer in when franchise stuff becomes...
but it's just 30 years after T-Virus, and the first game came out in like 1996.
Okay,
So I think it's
yeah.
kind of...
Sounds interesting. Unlike the Venom trailer that just came up.
Look at this janky fucking, like, you know, aerial sans. I can't even click on it. It's just an alarm bell.
Yeah.
Fucking...
It just says Resident Evil.
Hold on, everyone. Is this watchable? I can't see the chat, so I'm... Okay, I'm going to chat back up. I'm going to look on my phone. Adrian Mendoza. All right, see you later, Adrian. He's off back to work.
Oh, Adrian, nice to have you along.
I've got to look at this.
Venom is on Netflix UK, Dan Lyles. I'm guessing it just dropped because it is, you know, the kind of big homepage trailer. Yeah, we watched it a few weeks back. It wasn't as bad as I thought it might be, but I don't really like Tom Hardy, and it just kind of descends into wobbly grey stuff near the end, which can't be helped.
It's not watchable. They just released a picture of the first page of the script and the plot description to Alex Ewing. You all made me think there was a thing. Bloody knew it. Yes, they put a placeholder up. Great. Entertainment. EW, Entertainment Weekly. They say Resident Evil live action TV series confirmed by Netflix. Details revealed. Netflix is confirming its live action Resident Evil TV series and has revealed a lot of new information about the story and line time details. First, the streaming service has officially greenlit the project, which is based on the popular survival horror video game for 8-hour-long episode. I was trying to do a funny thing. I read it fast. I can't. Oh, good. One of the producers of The Walking Dead is involved. A brand new story set across different timelines. In the first timeline, 14-year-old sisters Jade and Billy Wesker, okay, are moved to a new Raccoon City, a manufactured corporate town based about. But I've just got bored reading that.
Oh, brilliant! We've got a No Tom Hardy gang. Ian McGard, Doug Wonnacott. Anyone else in our No Tom Hardy's gang?
Overrated motherfucker. Man. I'm sorry, he's so fucking overrated, and his whole shtick is doing a silly voice.
I just kind of mumble a lot and look down and mumble.
The best part about Mad Max is how he couldn't talk for the first act.
Batman. I was born in the dark. You only... I forget what the line is.
You were merely adopted Venom, but I am Venom because I'm from space. Hello, I'm in probably more than one episode of Peaky Blinders. I'm Dr. Hardy.
Ignore me. That's what I always think of the...
I think we should buy Sky because of sugar cubes.
Oh, God. Oh.
That was the worst.
He's such a wincy boy.
He's just an absolute D-bag, I'm sorry. That Bane voice is gold, you sons of bitches.
You son of a bitch.
Z's going into bat for Tom Hardy. Fair dues.
Fair dues, opinions may vary.
Floyd says, my sister finds Tom Hardy's eyebrows sexy, especially in Dunkirk. There you go.
Mm.
Yeah, Bane in the Harley Quinn animated series is magnificent, says Dan Lars. TM2YC. Did you see the clip of Tom Hardy on The Big Breakfast? We've talked about that many times, haven't we? Yeah, and I think it was that's one of the things that to me made me sort of dislike him a bit. And that, to be fair, is completely removed from his acting skill. But like Jonathan Ross rolled out that clip of him on The Big Breakfast, and he just sat there all sullen and stroppy about it. It's like, learn to laugh at yourself, you stuck-up prick.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the same thing if you try to make a joke with Eminem on a chat show. He just sits and stares at you, and it's like, great, mate, you're 50.
Yeah, but you don't realise, Richard, didn't you see Tom Hardy mumble in that film?
It's true.
He's a real artist.
It's true.
Okay, so you need to treat him like an artist.
I don't know if you've seen...
Did you see the sugar cubes in that Sky advert?
Did he play the
He's
sugar
an
cubes
artist.
as well?
He's an artist.
Have you seen that film that came out called Tom Hardy Plays Both the Crays? Because in Tom Hardy Plays Both the Crays, right? Tom Hardy plays both the Crays. And it's really difficult because normally a person just plays one person. He has to play two persons. And he had to stand in two places at once. Imagine, no computers, two places at once. And he had to wear glasses that weren't his prescription. And one of the Tom Hardys, he had to go with his tummy to be fat. And then the other one he had to go with his tummy to be thin.
He had to pretty much double his weight so he could play both
So he could play both of them, yeah. What people don't realise is Tom Hardy can split in two like Station from Bill and Ted.
Or Multiple Man.
Or Multiple Man. I'm going with Station because I'm just recycling a joke from earlier. But the problem is, much like Station, when he splits in half, he's half the size. So all that stuff's done in forced perspective, like in Hook with Tinkerbell.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, they had to make miniature chairs, miniature coffee cups, everything.
Miniature East End.
Miniature East End.
Uh-huh.
And every time he ran into himself to make the big one, for the scenes when he was on his own, it ripped all the clothes and had to give him new clothes. Did you know that?
Well, the thing is, there's a great Craze movie. That's the thing that annoys me the most. It's like
the Spandau Ballet one.
Yeah, it's like they got twins to play the Craze in a brilliant Craze movie, and now you're making another Craze movie, but it's just one person.
Well, it's just that kind of like put Tom Hardy in it. I hate the kind of put Tom Hardy in it and it's automatically great. This is kind of like, Tom Hardy's going to be in it. Like Tom Hardy's playing Tommy Cooper. Like Tom Hardy's going to play Madonna. Like, it's just like
I would watch that.
I'd watch that as well. I just get I hate all that. I just think he's an overrated twat.
Yeah.
To be fair, the thing is, like, I don't mind him in all sorts of things. It's just the fact he's been elevated to like superstar mega artist.
Yeah,
And it's
no,
kind of
indeed.
like, I mean, does he do anything that interesting? Does he do like any kind of really esoteric art house shit? Not really. He does kind of tangentially worthy things like the Craze movie or whatever.
Yeah, and he did like Bronson years and years and years ago. That was interesting and weird.
Yes, yeah, a really long time ago. Tom Hardy's career highlight was Shins On. Says Stephen Hines. That would have been the Chad move for Picard, is to bring back Tom Hardy. That would have been great.
There's always the hope. There's always the hope he might appear.
Simon Pope. Tom Hardy smoked, he drank, he made outrageous claims like he invented the question mark. So Ian said, I wanted to bring this up in the chat because I know Dan Lars has already brought this up. Bill and Ted 3 comes out tomorrow in America, but we're not getting it till the end of September and only in cinemas. I assume that I can go to Amazon.com on a VPN and lay down my $20 of my real money, and we just watch it like that tomorrow.
I don't want you getting computer arrested.
It's too late.
You've incriminated yourself.
I've already annoyed the Tom Hardy police.
Tom Hardy. You know that Richard Nixon made Tom Hardy a member of the internet police.
I didn't know that.
He did.
When Richard Nixon plugged in the internet.
Yes.
Because you know that's
It's one of the many great things he did.
Yeah, and for a man of his age to be able to lift, they say that contributed to his dementia. He got exposed to unfiltered raw internet.
And the weight as well. 8 hernias. I heard he got.
Yeah, he got 8 hernias, and
he looked like a golf ball.
He was dim like a flesh-coloured golf ball in a suit, and that was before cat pictures. It was just really basic HTML scrolling text, and I heard he absorbed so much scrolling text that he forgot how to say his own name.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I know. He could only communicate via very, very rudimentary
Dot matrix.
GIFs. He used to print out everything. All his messages to Princess David, he used to print out.
Yeah, you'd just have to put reams of perforated paper into his mouth and hope he'd spew them back out.
Neil Hutchinson says the trailers looked a bit ropey. I'd save your money, Rich. Richard says Neil Hutchinson's banned. I liked the trailers. The first one wasn't all that, but the second one I really liked.
Yeah, no, crazy and zany.
Floyd Dillon, I tried watching Prime via VPN and it wouldn't let me. It's on multiple platforms, though. It's on various platforms, so I will happily scuttle off to whichever platform to give them my money. You know.
I'm Snorlax just says 5G, which intrigues me.
Yeah. He knows. He knows. Captain Mick's Adventures, Tom Hardy is fluent in dialogue. Yeah, well, let's imagine if Ronald Reagan had been exposed to broadband, he would have died immediately.
Probably my favourite audio clip ever is, I forget which Radio 4 presenter it is, but instead of saying Health Secretary Jeremy Hunt, he says Health Secretary. He goes, Health Secretary Jeremy Cunt. Broadband.
Broadband. Oh, God bless him, because he just said the
best
worst
thing ever.
It is amazing, because Jeremy Hunt is a cunt as well. But
and then just saying broadband would solve the problem.
See, in the old days, no one recorded anything.
Yeah.
And you would have just... the amount of times people probably said something like that.
I would love that so much.
Yeah, well, Patrick Moore used to... It was tradition once a week on the Sky at Night. He would say perineum at least once. But when they started recording... That was in the era of what I call the Lost Doctor Who episodes, where William Hartnell would say moist pudenda at the end of every episode, because he knew they were being deleted. Patrick Moore used to say perineum every week, and then they started archiving them and he just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, and you know, for a lot of the people working on it, they saw an Oxbridge fellow, they just presumed it's some sort of Latin greeting.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So they're walking around...
perineum to you too, Patrick.
They were just walking around auntie, calling each other, saying perineum to each other, you know, and that's the way it was then, but you can't do that anymore. You know, he was known for exposing his glands as well and pretending that it was a nebula.
The Horsehead Nebula.
The Hog's Eye Nebula.
Oh, Patrick Moore.
So I've been expunging the racially based name for the male urethra. I've been expunging it because it's not cool, and it was a staple. It was a staple, funny, descriptive thing. But ever since you told me the Victorians called it Hog's Eye, I've been in Hog's Eye heaven, because it's so much more gross than the one we've replaced, and I like that even more. But it's not, unless pigs get offended. Pigs that we eat get offended.
Just you wait, Henry Higgins. Just you wait. I have to stop saying just you wait, Henry Higgins, just you wait. It's a weird avenue for cultural references.
Oh, Alex is asking which movie to... what was the... Hard Ticket to Hawaii. It was Hard Ticket to Hawaii, Alex. If you go back... we did a live commentary to Hard Ticket to Hawaii, and I did put a few digs at Ollie in there in the boob censoring, because I'm a child and I should probably grow up. I did say to Duncan we could probably get some extra content if we just go to live stream and remove the Hard Ticket to Hawaii bit, because we did two movies. We just take out the Hard Ticket to Hawaii bit and upload it as content. And he was kind of like, I prefer that people can't find that. Because I think he spilt his beer on me halfway. Like, we got really pissed. We got really quite drunk, and he's kind of like, I'm fine with that. Where it is. And I was like, okay, fine, fair enough. So I think it says like live stream spectacular or something. It's me and Duncan on the sofa. You can go watch it. Didn't we watch a mad film with a big toilet snake once? Was that a dream? Yeah, the Hard Ticket.
Yeah.
Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Yeah. The snake scene from Hard Ticket. That's one.
Yeah, big cheap old rubber snake.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. HEC, any thoughts on Ralph Bakshi? Yeah, I grew up on like the Ralph Bakshi Spidey cartoon, and then there's all the kind of crazy Felix the Cat Bakshi madness. Yeah, he's a mad guy in the Lord of the Rings film and stuff. Really interesting character.
Oh, Lord of the Rings film.
Yeah, really interesting character. Mad dude. Really important in animation. I mean, like, it's not Felix the Cat. It's
Fritz.
Fritz the Cat. So Fritz the Cat. Yeah, and just a really great line in sort of pornographic obscenity in sort of American animation, which because it's all that was him doing R. Crumb, wasn't it? Essentially, it's kind of like an R. Crumb thing for Bakshi.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting guy. Richard, with the recent trend in interesting to about sleepaway camp or other horror schlocks. Yeah, totally. I'll go for that. I quite like to do like Anne Jason film. I know that Jason Takes Manhattan is not as entertaining as I remember it being. It should be called Jason is on a boat for most of it.
Yes, definitely.
Jason Takes Manhattan in the last 15 minutes.
I'm happy. I'm not sure why Benny Legend has mentioned Toadfish Rebecca being would make a great action hero. But I'm very happy he did.
I would. I'd watch that. I'd love his because he's got the Magnum PI shirts.
He does.
But I think.
But Stonefish Rebecca is the real menace.
Stony.
Yeah,
no one talks about Stony. There's a bunch of people going like, "What the fuck are you on about?" Toadie became evil.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he became evil. Like he became like a lawyer.
He became a Paul, did he?
He did. Yeah, he became a Paul. He did like the heel turn, so he was like a suited evil guy.
Interesting.
Also, he was Jared Toadfish Rebecca.
Yeah.
So what was Stonefish's first name?
Stony Stonefish.
Stony Stonefish.
Rebecca.
Rich, how long do you think it would take for it to be safe to go back to cinemas? Why are you asking me? I don't have a scientific background. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go back to cinemas. It's freaking me out, man. Yes. Recycled air and shit, son. Second wave's coming. We're going to have lockdown Christmas. Y'all know that, right? Happy to be proven wrong, as usual.
Yeah, lockdown Christmas is a good shout. Someone said Merry Perineum, everyone, earlier on, which I enjoyed.
Perineum Leeson came out as well. Steve Allen, if you choose something to Star Trek, would you start with Enterprise? No, definitely not. That's just
no.
I mean, chronologically, sure, but like it's not. I think if you start someone on Star Trek, you start with the movies. I think just get them on Star Trek 2. If you give someone Star Trek, because the good thing about Star Trek 2, it was the film that it did a good version of Star Trek for people that don't like Star Trek, because they brought people on who had kind of healthy disrespect for Star Trek. Like Robert Meyer had a healthy disrespect for Star Trek, right? So he made Star Trek for people who don't like Star Trek, but not in a Star Trek Into Darkness way. So like people know, this is the thing, people know who Captain Kirk is, people know who Spock is, people know who Bones is. If you just give them this adventure film where there's stakes and two of the best friends, one of them, spoilers, dies, I think that's a really good hook. And I think if you hook them with this one and done kind of movie, and really it's a trilogy of movies as well, which runs the gamut of tones all the way from Star Trek 2, Star Trek 3 is pretty dark, and then Star Trek 4 is fun and funny, I would do that. And then they can work backwards.
I will change my mind and say, yes, you should start at Enterprise if you're introducing someone in the same way a sensei introduces a student to martial arts, where they have to go through a long, drawn-out, tedious process until they can finally find some enjoyment out of it.
Wax on, wax off. Yeah. Well, you can get someone to start with Enterprise if you don't like them.
Yeah, if you're trying to win a bet that they won't enjoy Star Trek, let them watch the first 3 series of Enterprise.
That's Floyd Dillon, Zapper in The Running Man, doesn't know who Spock is. That is a very good deep cut, actually. Because Mick Fleetwood says something along like he quotes Star Trek. He says to Zapper something, Mr. Spock, and he goes who? And he's sort of yeah, that's it. That's good deep cuts. Do you think Qui-Gon Jinn's perineum had a mullet? Absolutely. I think it was mostly mullet. I'm watching Peter Danielson. Currently watching everything in Star Trek in chronological order. Started last year, so you would have started with Enterprise and then Discovery, I suppose, if you're doing it that way. Chronological. We're going down the top. Oh no, sorry. Yeah. Enterprise, Discovery, TOS, TNG, and then it kind of follows quite a.
Well, TOS then animated series.
Oh yeah.
And TNG.
TOS, then TAS.
But then are you putting movies in there as well?
That'd be interesting.
That's a thinker.
Because you would have to like slot in First Contact into like the middle of DS9 somewhere. And then you got Tom Hardy as Shinzon Nemesis after Voyager. Just a real shitter, isn't it? Do you know what? Actually,
and then Picard. You got Nemesis followed by Picard.
Fucking Christ, that's a real. You can't even call it a shit sandwich. It's a shit. Just 2 shits of varying sizes on top of each other. Yeah. Mr. Spock, you have the con. He says, "Cheers, Neil." Neil called it.
As a non-Trekkie who inexplicably likes the old film series, 2 was the one I liked the least. I liked the first one the most, maybe because it felt the least Star Trekky.
That is, Doug, that's just
Interesting.
Contrarian as fuck, mate. I'm waiting for Star Trek TNA. Nice, says Rob Myers. Yeah, people seem to like Cobra Kai. I just don't
That's good.
give a shit enough about Karate Kid to... I'm sure it's great, like on its own merits, but I was never crying out for a Karate Kid sequel series, so it's hard. It's a tough sell for me, I think.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. But no, it's good to hear. It's always nice to hear TV shows are good. You know, we can't watch all of them, but yeah, because like I've watched first 2 episodes of Lovecraft Country, and hopefully it'll be good. It's been interesting, but it feels like it's got a bit of a slash and burn mentality to like, right, we've done that. Okay, that's resolved. Now here's a new thing. Okay, that's gone.
Everybody keep going.
And it's
Keep
just
moving.
like, Jesus Christ, you've done 2 hours. How on earth?
We check the Twitch chat. Twitch. Yeah, no, I think people just stopped talking on Twitch because we were...
Apologies, Twitchers. It's been a bit of a tricky one.
I'm blaming Restream, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it's also my fault. You know, take accountability, I guess. But there you go. So we're going to wrap up in a minute, finish at 10:30, and I hate to do this. I'm keen to finish on time tonight because I've got to get up tomorrow and do more revisions on the project I'm working on. Because I got all the notes at 5:10 today from the last edit, and I already sent 2 drafts today. It's one of those, it's fine because I know what they want, but it's one of those ones.
Yeah.
So
Little by little.
I did actually say at 5 o'clock. I was like, "Yeah, I'm done now." So I'll finish it tomorrow. So yeah, you know, thanks very much everybody for coming on to Samurai Cop. It's been good to have you all along. We've had like 90-ish roughly today, which is great. Really cool. So I did update the credits roll last week, so we should have your name will be up in lights if you're on Patreon. Next week I'll put all the shit in the description. I'll set it up on Restream because I didn't do it properly. So yeah. So right, I'm gonna smash the. Oh, Richard, what's on next week? Benny, it's all done on votes, mate. We vote them on Patreon, and I don't know yet. Duncan should be back next week, but I'm waiting to hear for confirmation from that because he's got a little one.
I just want to say, Imagar said, have people seen the crazy shit old school Jackie Chan did? Yes. And if you haven't, you all should. Old school Jackie Chan's brilliant.
Yeah, you fucking should. Okay, guys, we off. Good night. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Razum la